and daughters. Ooh. You can fall asleep on sheets of gold and wake up as a pauper. We all get old, we all slow down as the walls they close. We fall, we drown, and I need some breathing space. I won't grow old with grace. I need some breathing space. I can't keep living straight. Oh, we ain't gonna linger and wallow when there's hard cash coming back. No way, I'll just sit here when I know there's hard cash coming back. Hard cash. Don't want no easy money. Oh no. Money couldn't buy me happiness, just a prettier misery.
Can't tell me nothing about this crypto. This O-Day, these forensics, strictly for my hackers. Hackers on the grind, I ain't forget all my port scanners, all my SQL injectors, my exploit devs.
Greeting, folks. It's your host, N Commander, and one of these days I will get OBS to work correctly on the first try. And in case you're wondering, that is in fact an ice cream truck going on behind me, because I live in New Jersey, and ice cream trucks apparently prowl the streets at 8 p.m. between 8 and 9 p.m. heading to their native migration home. So, yeah, it's been one of those days. Okay, there it goes. Sorry. I'm running a little late, so I'm just cleaning up some windows on my desktop, and then we'll be ready to go. So, as usual, we are going to be doing disk dumping, and failing that, we have a fallback. We are going to play Kerbal Space Program, and we're going to blow up some rockets, because it's Kerbal Space Program. That is what we do. And I will be talking about physics as I do so. Oh, please tell me I didn't do something stupid. I may have done something stupid.
Welcome to Hackle and Commander.
Oh,
Commander does something stupid.
Yes, and also I have a random, a wild Sidepocket here. I do apologize in advance.
Infestation of Sidepocket.
Yeah, I haven't figured out how to solve that. So we are currently sharing the stream with both the Master of Unlocking and Crypto Barons. So I guess you could say I've been ransomwared.
I've heard rumor that they're two different people.
Rumor, huh? Well, welcome to Hackle and Commander, where the craziness keeps on coming, and God knows what else. All right. Anyway, we are going to be dumping some floppy disks. For those who, of course, this is misbehaving. No, it's not the VM. It's the webcam. You know, every time I think I've got this fixed, it decides to prove me, no, you don't have this fixed. So we're going to try and dump vines again. For those who, this is not the first time you've tuned in, you know that I've been trying to do this for a few times, and I have been stymied by the wrong type of floppy drive, specifically a low-density drive versus a high-density. I've been stymied by the fact that the first drive I had decided to have some head tracking issues that we tried to diagnose in camera. Then last stream, the last drive smoked itself, which I was able to fix.
Remember, kids, don't smoke.
But because I feel like I need to get the gremlins out before I try imaging media that I can't easily replace, I've got some known reference disks. In this case, it's a MS-DOS 5.0 high density. That's a kind individual made and sent to me that I could use as a reference, so I know what this disk is and I know how it should be dumped.
And you know where it lives.
Yes, it lives in your mind. So I'm going to put this in the drive, and we're going to do our warm-up dump. Oh, man, I'm sorry, that sounds wrong.
Well, you're in New Jersey.
Yes, due to the way my desktop and stuff is all laid out, my 5 1/4 floppy drive is currently on the floor and not on my desk because Mullick's cables have a max length. So let's do this and see if this actually dumps.
What you're saying is that your 5.5-inch floppy is not long enough to reach.
I don't know if you're being picked up on stream, but probably. So the biggest problem we have with trying to do this, or with this drive, is one of the bearings I think is saying goodbye. And what eBay wants, if we pull up an eBay window, which I like to live dangerously, and I am enjoying the fact that I now finally have a multi-screen display. If we look at 5 1/4 floppy drives on eBay, what they cost is ridiculous. No, I want 5 1/4 floppy drive, not 5 1/4 inch speakers. Yeah, like, see, a lot of these are untested for 60. That's interesting. These don't work on DOS or Windows. That's a teak drive. It's the same type I have, although mine's a different model. You know, they want these ridiculous prices for untested media. Or, no, I shouldn't say untested media, but untested drives.
How this works.
How's what work?
That's good to know for the future. So the way that closed captioning works is you use it on the same machine that you're using the microphone for.
Oh.
So the Chrome browser is used for the app to pick up the microphone, and that translates, and then it puts it on your Twitch.
Oh, so it's listening to my microphone and transcoding me in real time?
Well, see, I just try to do it on mine. It's trying to access my machine's microphone. So now I know how it's going to work on our actual live stream. So that's the first
Okay.
thing I use.
So next time, so on my next stream, I can have subtitles.
Yep.
I can't. So if Neo is in chat, which I don't think he is, we can have accessibility. We do take accessibility very seriously here. It's just sometimes really hard. So, okay. So anyway, yeah. So, okay, that's reading. So that's still got probably about another minute. But I mean, just look at the ridiculous prices that they want for 5 1/4. This is the third drive I am on, and this one was a donation. You know, it's an unfortunate truth that 5 1/4 inch discs are, they're not the most robust medias, and the drives themselves are not the greatest. I hate to give credit to Sony, but Sony did a very good job with the 3.5 inch floppy disk. So, that's the last track I think it's reading. Okay, cool. All right, let's see if that actually dumped successfully. So HXC. So this is kind of our litmus test to see if the drive is healthy, because I'm pretty sure gremlins break into my apartment at night and rearrange.
I have a name.
No, I let you in. It's the other gremlins.
Oh, the underpants gnomes?
Yes, the underpants gnomes. Oh. This is life with Sidepocket, people. Be afraid. All right, let's look at disc 5 and see if this actually managed to read all tracks. And you know what? We're going to go for broke, and we're even going to try and boot this. Because, of course, we are going to try and boot it. I don't have the other discs in the set to do a full install. Although I actually do have a copy of DAWs 3.3 sitting on my bookcase behind me that I've actually not dumped yet. Okay, that is a healthy disk dump. That is all sectors there.
Work now?
Yeah, I might actually have gotten this drive working.
So Sarasota was bad luck this entire time. I have to live
We
with
aren't
this.
going there.
Yeah.
We are not going there. All right. So we are going to actually see if this disk actually can be written out to a raw file and booted. And if we can, then we will actually try and dump the difficult to near impossible disks I have, and I'll feel much more confident doing this in the future. Getting this drive running again, dear God, the amount of obscenities that was involved with that. So DAWs 5 SCP, that's a valid DAWs file system. Those are valid files. Holy cow! This might be viable, people. I'm afraid because nothing on the stream ever works correctly. All right, let's just grab a PCM instance and let's see if we can actually boot this thing. By the power by the power invested to me by something and something. Can you actually do me a favor and just do a mic check on the Twitch to see if I'm actually being
Oh, like, sorry, stream it? Yeah.
Yeah. If it's too loud, go in my room. Okay, yeah, and make sure the music's actually showing up. Yeah, one of these days we will see. Part of the problem is that when COVID happened, because there was an era that COVID wasn't a thing. I did my streams separate from the rest of the 201 group because I didn't live very close. Now I live a lot close, but I haven't been able to migrate onto their hardware. So my setup is completely different than theirs, and it leads to all different sorts of things. Let's try this machine out. I don't even remember what I was doing with this machine. Let's just go to my temp folder, and let's see if we can boot the disk image we just made. So your disk. Let's give this the 3-finger salute. So this should be an IBM PC DOS free disk. Well, that didn't do what I wanted to do. That no ROM basic. Okay. All right, what is going on? Oh, that's a cute problem. So the error messages are showing. I have a multi-screen mod setup, which is new. This is the first time I've streamed since I got the second modder. The error messages are showing up on the far left and are almost off the screen, and the window is showing up on the far right because I'm using the far left for OBS. So this is going well. This is fine. Okay, let's go into setup and let's see if we can figure out what's going on here. Okay, I thought that was my desk. I thought that was my desk vibrating. All right, so why does it say no ROM basic? See, I don't currently have a vintage system with a 5 1/4 floppy disk. I do have a ThinkPad 380D, which is kind of chilling on the bookcase beside me. And I am currently in the process of trying to populate that bookcase. Is this just not bootable? Come on, boot. This is not rocket science. All right, only if we failed to dump things. I just want to know that I have a good working dumping solution. All right,
I've seen your toilet in the new place. I think it's okay.
Well, it's doing something. Nope, it's just saying there's no ROM basic. I'm guessing the boot sector is missing. I mean, we got files here. Let's see here. If we look here, is it just not a bootable disk? I suppose that's possible. It seems unusual. All right, I'm just gonna try one more thing, and then, but I'm mostly convinced that this will actually work. So I do keep a pre-made boot disk for, you know, all your emergency booting needs. So we'll just see if we can boot from that and then run setup from the B drive. Okay. Alright, so those are the files. If I type setup, setup.exe. Insert the DAW's version 5 disk into drive A. I type fdisk. Well, it dumped things. You know, I'm going to assume this is okay. This is fine. Everything is fine. Okay. So... That's my reference test disk, because it did read all the sectors. So let us get to the main event, and hopefully once I finally get all these disks properly dumped, we'll actually be able to install it, because as I've shown before on the stream, I actually have the hardware protection dongles for this, although I'm not completely sure that they match this version of Vines. And Vines has never been dumped. Or I should say there is one version that was supposedly dumped, which is one of the last ones on CD-ROM. But there's no known complete dump. Control C. Come on. Okay, there we go. So let's get down to this. So the way we start with this is we have a dump folder. Now this is from my previous attempt. I know that's a bad dump, so let's just be gone with it. And we will start with, so assuming getting these disks out is going to be more interesting than not. When I bought this package, it was sealed, so at least I know all the discs are here. They all appear to be in decent shape, as we can see here. So this is the install 1 of 2 disc. God, I have to admit, just trying to archive something that's never been archived, I feel a combination of Indiana Jones and I don't know what else. Alright, so let's make this. So this is install 1 SCP. Okay, that's the head seeking and the disk is dumping. So even if I get, so I don't know if there's any actual, oh, I just realized we have chat messages. Bin Spinal. Yes, we are dumping Bavian Vines, which was a old network operating system. It was the first distributed directory service. It's a Unix-based operating system that is almost entirely forgotten. As far as I can tell, it's actually a derivative of Xenix, because I know there's Microsoft copyright on this, and Microsoft had their own version of Unix called Xenix. So we've been trying to dump this disk. What is this, the third time we've tried to do this on stream? Yeah, third time we've done on stream. We've had hardware, we've had incorrect hardware, we have smoked hardware on camera. The floppy drive I'm using right now actually blew out with us mid-dump on a Windows 3.1 disk that we were testing. And so we've got about 20 disks we have to get through, and we have to see, and while we're dumping the disks, we will be exploring the contents. So it's not just going to be me watching a progress point all go. Yeah, that's kind of what it is. And we have some other interesting disks to dump, but this is the one I lose sleep about, because there is no known existing versions of Vines dumped. Like, I have a copy of SCO PCIX sitting on the bookshelf waiting to be dumped. And, oh, okay, I think Sidepocket has discovered the lamb.
If Commander ever asks you to make food, say yes, because it's so good.
Yeah, so apparently, if I ever offer to make food, you should say yes, because apparently Sidepocket's in love.
G.I. Jack our co-founder, ever offers to make you food.
So, I'm not going to repeat what Cell said. So, okay. So let me give a little context of what's happening right now. I'm using a SuperCard Pro, which is a magnetic flux dumping device. Basically, it reads the changes in magnetic flux, so it can successfully read and sometimes reproduce pretty much all copy protection schemes because it's directly driving the drive motor. There is a downside to this, so let's see if we actually got a good dump. The downside to that is floppy disks are not the most reliable medium. So if we load up the install one SCP image. Okay. This takes a while. Each raw dump file is about 50 megabytes. So, and I will be making these files available after I dump them. Yeah, see, that's what I was concerned about, is that one potential track that didn't dump right there in the middle. But, man, that is a wobble. Let's see here, how much of this actually dumped? It's a little, yeah, I'm tempted to give this a second try because I don't like that red ring right down the middle, but that also could be copyright protection. These discs haven't been dumped. There are no known surviving copies. So, because what I'm looking here is, I see 0 bad, 0 bad. So what is this? This is what side of the disc? This is side 0. Let's take a look here. What exactly did it complain about not being able to read? So it was track 46. It had a hissy fit. There is data on that. That's interesting. There is actual data there. But why is it complaining that it did not get a good dump? You see, every second... This is what I think that's the CRC for the full track it isn't happy about. But each sector's reading is okay. I'm going to take a second dump of this disk and we'll compare it. If it comes out the same, I'm going to assume it's copy protection. So let's give this a second go. Because encoding bad sectors, this is the first time B-Snipes that I've even managed to get a successful dump of this disk. I am so fragile about, so paranoid about these discs getting shredded because I was insanely lucky to get just a single copy of this, that if something goes wrong, I'm not going to get a second try at this. So, to put it very bluntly, my ass is clenched and will be clenched for the foreseeable future on this stream. So, if the dump comes out the second way we're going to test this is once we've got the discs dumped, we are actually going to try and do an installation. Now, from what little documentation I know about Vines, is that there is not a lot of... it had very little hardware support. If the disk drive itself fails catastrophically, it could damage the disk. If the spinning of the motor can cause the magnetic surface to actually strip, that has happened during other archival attempts. I mean, the discs here I'm trying to read are copyright 1992, so they're 30 years old, or 28 years old, and I don't know how they were stored before I got them. So the long and short of it here is, so much can go wrong, and God knows. No, these are 5 1/4 inch discs. I'll hold one up. Yeah, I did actually unseal this package on camera. When I got it, it was sealed. But yeah. And I had a real scare because the first disc I tried to dump, I had a hardware failure. But it seems to be okay. So I'm guessing that ring in the middle might be copy protection. We'll find out. That is kind of a plus and a minus because the problem with the copy protection is there's so little known about Vines. I'm not sure how much I could do about it. But we also live in an era where PC emulation has gone very advanced. So it is possible to use what's called an MFM file, which is what this can generate, and actually tell us, and actually emulate the disk and any potential flaws. I mean, we're dealing with a company that uses hardware protection dongles. They are notorious about their copy protection, which is kind of why I suspect Vines has not ever been archived, because it's only in the most recent years have we gotten things like the SuperCard Pro or CryoFlux. So let's check here. Let's see if the redump is any better or any worse. I am going to have to convert these to a different format, but we're just going to keep it in SuperCard format for the time being. So if we look at redump 1, see, no red ring. The red ring in the center is expected, so I'm not worried about that, because it is possible for there to be extra tracks on some floppy disks. But you see, on the second try, we actually got no red ring and what looks like all good sectors. So what we're going to do here is partial bad dumps, because I'm going to save this all, and when I upload this to the Internet Archive, it's going to get saved as is. So install 1, and then this becomes install. Partial bad dumps, and then we're just going to note that this is install 1 track questionable. I should probably use a UI, you know, it might just be easier. Okay, 1 down. This is fine. Okay. Alright, so disk 1 is down. We are now on to install 2. Yeah. Even the Wikipedia articles are rare. What amazes me not so much I managed to get the media, because I have seen the media pop up on eBay from time to time, but that usually goes for like $500. It's that I got these, which were the hardware protection dongles. I don't know if the dongles work. Baby and Vines. Here's the spelling. Banyan. Oh yeah, okay, so apparently I've been saying it wrong. So, alright, let's try install 2. Alright, we are officially making headway here. I really wish I had longer cords so I could have the floppy disk on the drive. So what I plan to do, swim hungry, is once I've actually got the damn disks to dump, in theory you're supposed to be able to install without the dongles. I've got a laptop with a parallel port and a PCM ICA card. I actually am going to look at see what it will take to do a parallel port pass-through. But I want to get the disks dumped first. Because if I can't dump the disks, it's all moot. So, here we go. Disk 2 dumping. I'm sorry it's not the most graphical thing in the world. But this will be the first thing I've hopefully will dump that I'll actually be able to use, because the one thing I can do with these disks is I can rewrite them back to 3 1/4 inch format. A little known trick about 3 1/2 inch floppy disks is they can actually be formatted to be identical to a 5 1/4 inch floppy, which is actually an intended feature. There is in fact a command in DOS to do so. That's the format fs 1200 flag, because what the intent was is that you could then have one disk image master for both 3 1/2 inch and 5 1/4. And this also means that since the disks, yep, that's pretty much what it is, a mode-free floppy. It's basically a 3 1/2 inch disk with 5 1/4 inch geometry. So I can actually use that to install Vines on the ThinkPad. The problem is that Vines has a very short list of hardware compatibility. I've never been able to find a definitive list, but Apparently, Banyan required that hardware manufacturers not only pay for driver development, they had to send it to Banyan. So the list of supported hardware is short. What I know works is some of the 3-link cards. It may have an NE2000 driver, but it's short. If I ever get this working, I'm probably going to have to go hunting for a lot of things. Like, for example, the SCSI controller supported is Adaptec, and that's it. I actually got fairly lucky because Banyan was normally shipped as a series of tapes. The fact that I have a set that is only floppy disks is very convenient, because otherwise I'd have to try and track down a quick 40 drive. 86box may have most of it, but I've also had failures there because I was able to dump an undumped version of Novell NetWare from 1987, which only supports the StarNet network card from IBM, which is not even Ethernet. It's like a proto Ethernet. So I would actually be interested in writing the drivers, but we need to know what it supports first. So yeah, I was very lucky to find it. I'll actually, let's see if this disk dumped, and then I will actually pull up that. That was a special we did. Sidepocket dragged me onto Radio Statler, and then I did horrible things to floppy disks. The box is actually sitting on the bookcase beyond. Yeah, we can find it on the YouTube, but we've done network things before. I collect Strange and Unusual. I actually just won a copy of NetWare for Dummies for $4. That is a perfect dump on the first try. Although there is a lot of empty sectors, but well, he wasn't there for the first one though. Although the first one was just my high density floppy drive, quote unquote, was not a high density floppy drive. Yeah, so that's actually a good dump. So in theory, no, that is Sidepocket, who is currently enjoying the new couch I built the other day. Hold on, I gotta find a place to put the camera you can actually see him. And yes, he is wearing clothes. I'm doing this tracking shot as you approach.
No.
Thank you. It only took me 3 hours to assemble and only cost my spine to get it up the staircase.
You should actually save that for the live stream. It's like,
Okay.
assembly, buy a couch.
So, okay. So 2 discs dumped into the thing down. All right, and then it says, so now we are at 1 of 19. So we could try and run the 2 discs we've just dumped, or do we want to try dumping all the discs we have right now? Folks, I'll let you decide. I'm going to put disc 1 of 19 in. And as a note, I do accept donations. If you have any vintage software you want to see dumped, archived, and or reverse engineered, get in contact. Drop us a line on the Twitter. Hint, hint, put the Twitter in chat. And we'll talk, because I have all the hardware to do data recovery for most vintage stuff. And frankly, I love preservation of history. I love saving this sort of stuff, because there's very few people that do, and I don't know how many people have watched the 8-Bit Guy as of late, but I saw what he did to that IBM, that one of those one of the kind IBM prototypes, and I died a little inside.
Also to note, you don't really have much on there, from what I understand, but if you're on Twitch, you can also scroll down and see NCommander's GitHub. If you're not on Twitch, I'll post the link in chat.
Yeah, I can actually do that one, but oh, you got it. So, all right, what we're going to do is, while that goes, we are actually going to, blah. I want to see if these disks will even boot. They should, but yeah, they should.
We know this rodeo before.
We've been down this particular road, so let's load install 1. And then what we'll do is we'll probably use PCM with a 1992, would you say 3646? That sound about right? Yeah, I would say probably a 46DX. All right. And we'll see if we can just get it to start the installation. No, these are not going to be formatted FAT12. What you will have is a master boot record, which is standard IBM BIOS, and almost certainly some sort of variant of the Unix file system, because Vines is a legitimate Unix. So let's call this image conversion. But we'll know this for a fact. We are literally discovering this here in real time. So let's grab an image. So let's make install1.img. And if we switch here, and feel free to, spread the word, help get people here. What I would love to, yes, actually, holy cow, there's a full file system on this thing. Yeah, there's a complete partition table on there.
So, Commander, what is this Unix and what does he want?
Unix is the thing that Linux ripped off. More specifically, Unix is the thing that New Jersey released upon the world.
My answer is Unix is that thing that solved everything in the Jurassic Park movie.
You're gonna make me play the clip. You're gonna make so, folks. I just want to tell you the in Jurassic Park when they do that really cool 3D effect looking through the files, that thing is real. In fact, it's a demo shipped with IRIX.
Yes.
So okay, we've got another disk down.
I think someone actually poured that so you can emulate that. Just IRIX itself is annoying.
So IRIX itself, the problem with IRIX is that the hardware is so screwball.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is actually literally FSN. There is a version of FSN for Linux and free open source, which is a clone of IRIX's original utility. So, okay, we've got 2 disks down. Let's load install 2 and convert, and then we'll check if disk 1, number 1, successfully dumped.
You just want to come in and do the spiel and announce something real quick. So,
You can do that while
yeah.
I do my dumping.
If you like this sort of programming and, Commander's beautiful mane of hair and watching green circles going on itself, as well as our upcoming meeting on October 16th starting at 6 p.m. right here on these live streams, you can hit that bell, like, subscribe, or follow at Twitch TV Live or YouTube. We're also currently working on streaming from not Facebook Gaming, but stock Facebook. I'm still looking into that. If that doesn't happen this month, it's going to happen next month. And if you do like and subscribe to us, I will receive those notifications and we'll let Commander know, so we'll cheer you on those ends. Same thing if you send in bits, lemons, or super chats. And also, because I saw that Beast Knife was talking about C and C++ during our October 16th meetup, one of our talks is going to be by a lovely friend of mine for an hour who's going to be talking about how to basically build an encryption, like how to do encryption through code using C++ directly through the terminal. So if you want to, for some reason, want to scratch up on your C++ or want to know how to code through terminal, make sure you check us out, as well as many other things such as voting and privacy concerns and the Hacktoberfest workshop where you can interact with us. Check us out on October 16th. That's this Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Same DEFCON 201 time, same DEFCON 201 place.
Yeah, heard the man. That was Sidepocket, co-founder of one of the co-founders of DEFCON 201, alongside GI Jack. Holy cow, I can speak. And just for completion's sake, I also have my own YouTube channel. Due to personal life stuff, I haven't posted in a while, but I am currently working on a video project that goes into the source code for Word for Windows and the interesting things I found there. I can't do that particular topic on stream. I would love to. It's because the Microsoft license for Word for Windows source code is so restrictive. I really could not do it in a live stream. I have to carefully edit that video. So there are things I can only do in video form, and there's some things not. So, well, that's interesting.
There's that word.
Well, so apparently, I've seen this before. So, while Sidepocket was talking, I converted these discs to the IMG format. And, let's see here. Install to... Wow, that's a thing. That was a thing. So, the reason I say that's interesting is if we look at disk 1 here, it says compressed data 16 bytes. And do I have... You know what? I need to try this. I've seen this with Xenix. I have not seen this with other ones. If I do disk 1 tar Z, can I uncompress this? Corrupt input. Press data 16 bits. No, see, I need the actual uncompressed utility, not... So, compressed is a very old format, and unfortunately it had patent issues, which is why I suspect it's patent. It's actually the reason why gzip was created.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, but this is from the era, I believe Ubuntu does include compressed because I believe compressed fell into the public domain. Well, it would have at this point. Compress, utility, Linux, Ubuntu. I just want to see here. Because I need the big -Z. So uncompressed.real. Wow, that let's see here. Apparently compress. There it is. So install ncompress. Hey, ncompress. Closes. Yeah, actually Arc would no, this is even older than Arc. This would go back. Compress would be System 6 or System 7 Unix. I believe that I was part of the original Research Unix. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Let me see here. So I believe it's installed. Yeah, it installs as uncompressed real. Let's see if we can actually uncompress. It doesn't want to uncompress. But this is one of those formats that, shall we say, standards are wonderful. There's so many to choose from. But the fact that file can actually see stuff in it is actually optimistic. Because if we do less... Yeah, I've got some optimism that these disks are decompressing correctly. We'll know more once we install the system. But I kind of want to go through all the disks. Do we want to go for all the disks, or do we want to... gzip... Huh? Gzip, this would predate gzip, or, well, it'd be under GPL.
Dude, all the discs!
So, that was disk... So, let's go... We are on to disk 2.
Ah, jeez. Looks like my bank account. It's all zeros. Yes, please.
Alright. Come on. I don't want to go for all these. I have the command saved somewhere. I think I'm going to just try and dump them all because I don't think I'm going to be able to rest or... Well, I don't know. We'll see. We're 4 discs in. We got 21 to go, but it's not like I'm going through these at a particularly fast clip. So, we'll read through as many as we can. So let me talk a little bit why I find Vine so interesting. Let's bring up the...
You did an entire episode of just that.
Huh?
You did an entire episode of just banning Vines.
Well, we tried to do it. Right. This time we're actually succeeding. So, let me drop the ye old Wikipedia. 20, the way is it might be 21 floppy disks, but at least I didn't have to track down a vintage tape backup device, because that's how this was usually distributed as. So, I'm going to take the plus with the minus here. I mean, I'm sort of tempted to try and boot it as is, but I mean, most of the design of Active Directory was based around Vines. Windows NT 3.1 through versions up until 2000 had native support as both a Vines client and a Vines server. Street Talk was heavily used by the US military. It was just very niche. Novell NetWare had control of the market for most of it, but I mean, if you do a search, the Wikipedia page is about the only thing there. Yeah, this was the first known implementation of a true directory service. Let me grab my stuff. This is why I'm trying to save it, because it's basically forgotten. So, and it really depresses me that most people don't care. I mean, you can talk, I mean, when I used to be involved with the Sega, Sonic, and prototype community, there was a period. Well, it's where I got into game hacking to begin with.
So you know about like the Sonic Hackfest and Sage and stuff, yeah.
I was there at the very beginning.
I was there reviewing games at the very beginning.
Oh, so you probably remember Sonic Cult.
Yes.
Oh, Pikachu.
Triple Trouble, that website.
Or SSRG.
SATAM community, which was a forum at the time.
I was.
He's gonna puke. Yes. I remember the old internet. My favorite thing is when Neopets keeps coming back from the dead.
So, if I really, really want to torture Neo,
Oh god.
I could port Apache and mod Perl to this.
Maybe that'll be for our anniversary.
Yeah. So, with WinWorld, they do actually have the boot disks install 1.2 of Vines 8, which was the very last version, but they don't have the actual. And Vines 8 was shipped on a CD-ROM, but the actual CD is nowhere to be found. I have made submissions to WinWorld. I sent them a copy of Backit 2.0 and Novell NetWare 2.0, which is the oldest known surviving version. They haven't added it, but it is available on the Internet Archive if you look for it under my username. So let's see if we got a successful dump of disk 2. Well, we've already had a hiccup, but that's not completely unusual. So, here's the thing about dumping with a flux dumper, which is what I'm doing. There is no error correction, because a lot of times the copy protection was implemented as errors. So a lot of times you have...
It's not a bug, it's a feature.
Yes, that is in a very literal sense. Which disc am I on? This is disc 3. Okay. So, hey, if you know more archivists, please invite them to the stream. Invite them to my Twitter. Yeah. Well, I reached out to quite a few archivist people, and I basically did not get much in terms of responses. For example, the product I am using, SuperCard Pro, This was all built for Commodore. PC support added to the Supercard Pro was kind of an afterthought. And a lot of that is because Commodore hardware is very hard to interface to a modern PC.
Sometimes I wonder on your show if I should actually put this, because I always put me in the science and tech category. I always debate if I should ever try to stream on the retro category.
You can do both.
You can only choose one.
Well, you could alternate. Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, see, the problem with the two nightmare formats for I could talk with Beta Archive. I do not like their policy that you have to contribute to have download access. And they are very restrictive about that. Because ultimately, if Beta Archive ever goes away, and maybe I should say when, because websites always vanish, all the stuff that's there goes, and because you can't download a complete mirror of it, because they do limit how much you download, it irks me a lot. I recognize that Beta Archive is a very good community of users, but I don't like how they control their archives. I realize I shouldn't burn bridges, but there's probably some things in the Beta Archive that are not copied anything else. And well, you have to kind of stand up for what you believe in, and if you burn some bridges, you burn some bridges. I do fully respect that they are essentially the definitive archive of beta Windows versions, but if we didn't have WinWorld PC, there would be no other comprehensive archive. As much as respect as I have for the Internet Archive, let's be honest, finding files on it is not what I call an easy time. And none of the stuff they have on Beta Archive can be backed up to the Internet Archive because it's all behind a login screen. So, yeah. So, that is what it is. I upload to archive.org because, see, so, Twitch copyright strike incoming. When I am bothered, so I'm going to pull something. Can you do me a favor, Sidepocket? There should be a red box on the bookcase that's NetWare, Novell, on the top. Right? Oh, it might be in the blue box. Open that blue box next to the tool chat.
You're asking the phone loser to open the blue box.
Yes, open the blue box. And then there should be a red box inside. Guys, I might have made a huge mistake. I might have asked Sidepocket to open the box. Okay. So we have the blue box. And inside the blue box is a lot of floppy disks. So now we take the red box out of the blue box. And then we have this set of Novell floppy disks. And these Novell floppy disks, the labels are very faded on them. I don't think they'll show up on stream. 1987, this is a special release of Novell NetWare that was for IBM PS2 machines only. That is MCA support. It doesn't have support for the things. And I found this on eBay as a fluke. And the thing is, though, is because copyright is so long, this is under copyright. So I had to make a wrestle with myself. Do I want to see this sort of stuff preserved? Or do I want to do I want to live with it what it is? And I decided, to hell with it. Let's archive it. I mean, I know the risk is minimal, but, that is where the preservation stands for, because the organizations that are legally exempt to break copyright for the purposes of archival generally do not archive these things. What's left of Novell is owned by Microtrend, but let me put it to you a different way. Oracle does, and there is a copy of Oracle for Classic Macintosh on eBay I've been eyeing, but I've been really hesitant to buy it, kind of because Oracle will actually hit you with cease and desist. They are one of the most legalist legislative. Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's really what it boils down to. So, I don't know what it is. It just says Oracle for Macintosh. I know that Oracle DB existed for MS-DOS and Novell NetWare as host platforms. In fact, Oracle Database for DOS is actually listed in the Windows NT README as one of the applications known not to be compatible, which is why I know it exists. So, hold on, let me see. I got slightly sidetracked here. I'm exporting these out as we go because we are going to do an install tonight. Since I actually got this working, this is probably going to be a long stream, and I'll probably lose Sidepocket sometime at about 3 in the morning. Oh, holy cow! A wild Jason Scott appears. Yeah, well, I'm sorry. When text files enters the chat, you pay attention. So.
Are you wearing your orange jumpsuit, Scott?
Yeah. So, sorry, my mind has been blown. I was just talking about using the Internet Archive to save things, and then the Internet Archive has entered the chat. Yeah. There goes my Internet Archive account. I don't know how much of the conversation. No, he does work with it. But talk about things you don't expect. Okay, so we've got install 1, install 2. We are trying to archive and save one-of-a-kind software that has never been dumped or preserved. So, let's see here. So this is install 2. Image. Wait a minute. If the file exists. Oh, okay. Hold on. This needs to be disk 2. I am using their labeling scheme. It's still really stupid, their labeling scheme. I'm going to. Yes. So for the context, Scott, or Jason, we've been trying to dump this software for about. What, 2 months? It was before I moved, so 2 months.
2 months and 3 episodes.
2 months, 3 episodes. I have blown out. I literally smoked a floppy drive on camera trying to dump this stuff. So, the fact that I don't know if you know anything about Vines or if you were here for this, but it's never been dumped network operating system that was the inspiration for Novell Directory Service and Active Directory. So, I would actually love some advice from a professional archivist on the do's and don'ts. So I will talk about LAN Manager in a moment. Let me get the next disk dumping, and then we will talk about LAN Manager. So the answer, the very short answer is no, it's not. LAN Manager is its own thing that is completely different. And Active Directory really doesn't share much with it. But the story is a little bit more complex. Wow, there is like nothing on that disk. Why is that so empty? Yeah, I was noticing this before. A bunch of these disks basically had a lot of empty space on it. This one's basically, we won't know for a fact that we got good dumps until we actually try and install. So this is fine. Everything is fine. So let's put this into image format. And I just, like I said, I might as well try and dump all the disks. The disks are write protected from the factory, and I'm using a SuperCard Pro, Jason. So it's magnetic flux dumping. So I can't have Windows accidentally overwrite a boot sector. But this is the advice I want to actually ask is, the very first software I ever dumped was Novell NetWare 2.0. It's on the Internet Archive. Internet. I can spell. I would love some advice on how to categorize and put this. The only thing I think I should add to this is I should probably get a flatbed scanner and take pictures of each of the discs. Is this the one I upload? Sorry, that is the wrong link. That is the other version. There is a second version of this that is incomplete due to corruption. That was the one I linked. The one I uploaded... there we go. That's the one I uploaded. Is here. And I would love advice on anything else I should add or do to better maintain it. I took some pictures of the installation process. The files I uploaded are SuperCard Pro uploaded and also have a conversion to flat file format since I could do that with those discs. So, you know, this is the first thing I ever professionally archived, and I would love to be able to do more of this, but yeah, pretty much. So thank you. I highly appreciate that. I would love to be able to get a job in preserving stuff. Most of what I do is I make YouTube videos that document on how it's used.
We just like watching it be frustrated.
Yeah, that's also a large part of it, is watching me be frustrated. So Vines. Okay, so we've got disc 4. Did we get a successful dump? I'm hoping none of these discs have said goodbye in the 28 years. I won't get a second try of this. But even if I can only get most of it, it's still better than nothing, because sometimes you can actually either fix or work around data corruption. Yeah, okay, that's a good dump. All right, let's convert that. So export you. Image. Let's see here. I don't know. When we did Xenix Xenix 386, so a few years ago, I did a restoration and archival project for an early version of Xenix 386 that had been dumped, but the dump had not been done well, and there was severe data corruption. So there's a guy uploading hundreds of porn CD-ROMs, so really you're already ahead. But the fact of the matter is we should understand how fetishes have changed through the ages. You know, for science. And I actually managed to say that with a straight face. Okay, so disc 5. I'm just really hoping. I've already had to fix this drive once. If it dies on me again, it's going to go fly. It will be sent flying out of the window after I carefully remove the carcass of whatever disc it eats. Okay, so that was disc 4. Disc 5 is reading. Wait, didn't I already do this one? Okay, so that is so far so good. Yeah, I'm going to read all the discs and then we're going to try and do the install. I think at this point that's the more interesting thing. Let's see here. You know, I never occurred to me that people would buy porn CDs back when we had dial-up because I wasn't old enough to understand the implications of pornography at that age. And I haven't thought about it retroactively. But that makes perfect sense. And then the next thing my brain said, because my brain has issues, was it in video CD format? Or did someone have to create a custom codec to God, you know, I just realized, I wonder how many multimedia PCs got sold because of that. That's how I feel right now. AVI. Well, who stores their... No, you know what? It could be worse. It could be worse. It could be worse. They could have stored their porn in real media.
Real media on a zip drive. Zip disk.
You don't stream. Wait, what do you mean you don't stream? Real media had a streaming format. That was what all Real Player was about.
We should on April Fool's try to stream.
Okay, Sidepocket just committed. God damn it! Now you made me think of how we would do it.
Yes.
And then my next thing is, so did real players support IPv6?
That's a good question.
640 by 900 AVIs. So were they storing their porn on floppy disks as a multi-port zip archive?
I'm just imagining someone like 3 strokes and put the next disc. Or they could be doing double side tapes.
Well, as the 8086 corruption video proved, it is in fact possible to do full motion video porn on 8 megahertz with CGA. Because someone brought up porn and
And for once, it wasn't me. You got it. Ladies and gentlemen, for once, Sidepocket did not bring up anything sexual or porn on here. First time, this is not me.
it's amazing how much he denies it. Well, what do you think I'm doing here? I'm just sitting here changing the disc. You know, the disc goes in, the disc goes out, the disc goes in, the disc goes out, the disc goes in.
There's something about, you know, we're talking about porn on floppies, and we can only see from the waist up.
Okay. Wow, we are. I hate to jinx it, but this is so far going well.
If we manage to do all of these,
If we manage to do them all, it would be amazing.
Sarah, so I hate to burst your bubble, but
Well, we're not going to completely succeed because unfortunately, my desktop is from 2020. I don't have something that this can plug into.
Oh, so it's a dumpster fire.
Yeah. Oh, but here's the best thing, which is a completely thing. You might think that this is a parallel port pass-through. No. Bayan was so paranoid that you have to chain the damn things. It has dongles that plug into dongles.
That's gonna be a future meeting name. Dongles into dongles.
Amazingly, the thing is, we're not even sure that these will work because we're not sure if the media is personalized with a serial number because there is a serial number on these.
Right.
And then you need a dongle for each feature that you're using. So if you want to use VNS network management, you need this one. And if you want, I forgot what the other one I have is if you want LAN management, you need this one. So it is to my knowledge. You know, I actually now that you say it, I'm actually not sure if it's Centronics or if it's RS-232 because now these are from the era when these could have been serial adapters. Which means I'll probably have to crack one of these open to look. But if it is serial, it is at least trivial to plug it into a real machine and man in the middle of the damn thing. And I've got to hope that those dongles work because they were completely untested. But I was lucky to get the damn thing. So you know what? I will take my small miracles. Alright, so that was disk 5 we dumped. Because what I'd love to do is end up with a VM on the Internet Archive that could boot and show this, you know, bit of history. Okay, so that was disk 5. So 5 down, 6.
Why you let that up too much?
Time to make a crack. So just for the final FU factor, they're riveted. I would actually have to crack one of these open, and it would not be trivial.
We'd literally be cracking.
Yes, literally.
Yes.
We'd have to, you know, so. Hey, we've reached 100 chat messages.
Already, Jesus. So, yeah, while he loads this up, once again, for everyone who's new to the stream, we're DEFCON 201. We are a computer hacker group based out of Jersey City, New Jersey. And we have a meeting third Friday of every month. Where our meeting's actually going to be this Friday on October 16th. We hope to see you then. If you want to get notifications and updates on when the meeting's going to happen, well, first of all, you can go to our website at defcon21.org. That's also where all our social media is. And if you want to stay up to date on that, as well as future episodes of Hack All and Commander and some of the other shows that me and my co-founder and other members do, you can hit that bell, like, share, and subscribe on Twitch, Live, or YouTube. We're going to have Facebook streaming soon. If you follow or send bits, lemons, or super chats in its respective platforms, you can't run the notifications on here, but I can see the notifications, and we will update and cheer you on. So thank you for that. But enjoy this episode, and we hope to see you on October 16th.
And as usual, if you have software that you want to see preserved and are willing to mail it to me, or if you live in the tri-state area, please get in contact with me or the DEFCON 201 Twitter group, and you may too show up on stream. Even if not, even if I don't do it on stream, I will dump it for you and send it back, because the fact of the matter is, I suspect in another 10 to 20 years that these floppy disks are going to become completely unreadable. The simple fact is they're likely to break down. Jason, are you in the tri-state area? As in New York City, New Jersey, Connecticut? Oh. I'd be happy to have you for a disc dumping party. That is in fact a thing I just conned and named. And I would also love to see the ability to do networking across multiple VMs on the Internet Archive, because I'd love to be able to demonstrate things like NetWare. Poughkeepsie! I've been to Poughkeepsie. I lived. I broke my bike there, but I lived. So, okay. So I've got the floppy disk drive sitting on its side, so I'm literally watching it spin and spin. So the biggest problem I had with this drive was that the the head motor was grinding, and there was so much lithium grease involved in trying to figure out what was supposed to move and what wasn't supposed to move. And then testing it with so many discs before I was confident in trying to read these discs. But I will show the most amazing thing. I've also shown this on camera, but I have a set of floppy disks that are backup archives, and someone even included restore instructions, and they worked. And the backup utility. So, alright. So let's see here. That was disk 6. So who wants to start taking odds that we might actually be able to dump these all? Because so far this is actually getting somewhere. How? Do I get out my torture? Well, that's true. That's another nice looking dumped disk. So let's export that. I have absolutely no idea what the condition that these discs were. The box is actually in good condition and was sealed, so there was probably no moisture. It's been unsealed for about 2 months, because that was the first time I tried to dump these discs, and catastrophic failure is the way we're describing that. So, but we already had the misfire with disc 1 where it didn't read that one track. So, failure is an option. So, okay, we are on disc 7. Okay, we are almost done with the first stack of discs. Literally the first stack of discs. So, disc 7 of 9. Hey, 7 of 9. Sorry, 7 of 19. So,
How many of this there are?
it's 21. It's 2 installed discs and 19 installation discs. We still have to install it, but even if I can just get the data committed, then someone might be able to reverse engineer it, because I am not a brilliant reverse engineerer. But I am trying. Let's see here. Okay. No, Jason, I know there's a pandemic. I'm not asking you to come. These are plans for 2021 to 2020 to 2021 to 2022. And I know that the Internet Archive is intent on saving all things, but please let's not save COVID. Because, we don't need someone a century from now to reopen Pandora's box to wonder what the Roaring 20s were like.
I think it's more like we need to save all the virtual chaos on because there's so much active people want the actual experience.
Yeah, I know. And show them that coffee is not spelled with a V. Yeah. No, we've and actually, in all seriousness, we have started to see signs of a second surge here in New Jersey and in New York. They haven't formally declared it, but we're upticking.
I wonder who started that.
Yep. Oh, so speaking of computer viruses, I found that I might have something that you might be able to help me with as far as data preservation. Now, I can mail you these floppy disks. I have a set of Windows 3.1 5.25 floppy disks. They should be still.
Don't ever hurry that vaccine because Johnson has
Yeah.
trial 2 days ago. It caused some
So,
crazy side
when I dumped these disks, I found signs that these disks had been infected with the Form virus from 1990 on them. I couldn't find the boot sector virus itself, but I found remnants of executable code, which makes me, and the way it looks like is it looks like it was there on the factory master process, but I couldn't find this on any other version. And this version of the disks, unfortunately, the media has degraded. I have not been able to get a good dump of these disks, or not all of them. So I would like some help to figure out if the remnants of this virus was something Microsoft actually put on the disks, or if at some point these disks were written by another user. So, if you could give me some insight, help me, and try and figure that out, I'd be hugely appreciative. Because I would love to know if Microsoft actually, if their machine mastering system got infected with a virus. So the key with this stuff is make a note of this all, put it in the image, stick it in a zip, and I assume hit you on Twitter. Okay. Since I've got this drive working again, I can try and do that. Solid read-me of what you saw. I can do that. Because I'm still a complete and total novice at this. I just stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last year. And I did a lot of reading on the internet. Let's see here. Okay. As another disk successfully saved. Okay. So I am going to sleep very well when this gets uploaded to the Internet Archive. I will probably do that offline and not on stream, just because I have to take photos of all the media and such.
Next time we should do a feature one where we do something with the
Well, maybe what we'll do is we could do a special stream where we go on eBay and figure out what my N Commander purchases to dump next.
Another episode of N Commander crying about how you can't buy most things on eBay.
You'd be surprised in the things that you can buy for under $100. Like, I'd be willing to spend money for Hack Alt N Commander. I do find it interesting that the labels on these discs, I don't think I pointed out, most of them are creased and or bubbled. I don't know if that's just the way they were manufactured or if the labels have moved. Come on, disc, go in. Alright, disc 8 of... We are more than halfway there.
So I think that's the first time we've ever said that Hack Alt N Commander.
We've said it before with other things we've dumped, but with this particular project...
Right.
Let's see here. So, did we do 7? I can't remember if we did 7. Yes, we did do 7. I feel like, though, this entire stream is like watching paint dry. It's watching the progress bar count up to 163.
Well, that's where the personality is.
Oh, then we're screwed.
Yeah, you're good at that.
I have a personality? Well, it's true. I was made by the Sirius Cybernetics Corporation.
It's basically like a really dorky Robocop.
Yeah, pretty much. So the reason it's 42 megabytes per dump is it is literally a dump of the what's called the changes in magnetic flux. But it's not only the ones and zeros, it's the spacing of the ones and zeros, the spaces between the ones and zeros, and it's done in such a way that's so it's stored in analog format in digital. So yes, that's why it's 42 megabytes. And also, CryoFlux sucks. I'm gonna be very blunt about that. But if you do want to do software preservation, unless you've got a ton of money, please don't use CryoFlux. The reason for that is that they put really ugly license restrictions on the stuff that you generate with their software and hardware. Furthermore, it's all proprietary, and as far as I understand, their software does not try and save what's called weak sectors, which is usually okay, but you can sometimes save weak sectors if you can figure out what bit got flipped that's preventing it from doing a CRC dump. So I've used the SuperCard Pro for this. There are other ones available, but SuperCard Pro is an open design, open firmware. The official tools are for Windows. I'm using a Linux reimplementation. I have the official tools in a VM because there are some things you have to use with the official tools. Like to do alignment, I had to use the official tools, but for the basic dumping and reading, this works fine. So, you know, that's the other thing that drives me crazy about CERN preservation is that the gatekeeping is so obnoxious for it. You know, for things like the SuperCard Pro, if and when Neo ever returns, I'm pretty sure if I say the words Brailer in the right language,
One of these days, I'm gonna drag Neo into a Hackle into a K Command episode where we're just gonna tie it as Neo returns.
yep,
The Neo has come.
the Neo has cometh. No, that was 2 weeks ago. I would love to get this back on a weekly streaming schedule. It's just, I've serious life issues are serious. Okay, so did Disk 8 read? Disk 8 read, although there's a lot of it's interesting. You can actually see where leveling test data on here. Never actually seen it. Usually it's like one consistent pattern. So again, I am all hoping this reads and installs, and we will see. So let's export you. Like I said, what we're going to do is we're just going to read out all the disks, and then we are going to try and install. Because ultimately that is the only way we will know if we got good disks. And then I'm going to contribute an ACLOC port. Ow, ow, ow. Oh, that's my foot cramping. Alright. So I do find it interesting, though, Sidepocket.
Yes.
You used to do the Street Pass group for New York. This is Vines with Street Talk. So maybe it's what my Nintendo built the 3DS
Depends on what city. If you're north, it's gonna be a lot of swears.
Alright. This is the end of Stack 1. Last disc here. What is DEFCON the nuke game versus... you can take that one.
That's easy. That's what happens if Trump gets elected again. We get hit by the nukes.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to archive this before Election Day. Alright. Alright, have a wonderful night. I hugely appreciate that, Jason. Hopefully I'll have a nice contribution for the Internet Archive. Oh, that's not a good song.
Send more celebrities to our streams. We are whores. Please send more people.
Yeah, that's...
Paying college credit.
That's not... So, I don't think it's being picked up by the microphone, but this is making the sound that this was doing last time this disk drive smoked itself. It's still reading. I'm going to let it run through, but the ass has gone back to full clench. Yeah, please do not fail. I'm going to be really annoyed if this drive died on me again, because it was such a pain to get it going the first time, and I'm really getting frustrated because, well, we saw what eBay goes. eBay be expensive. eBay. See, because what's happening is that the motor, it's either the motor controller is not spinning correctly or it's not seeking correctly, and that causes the entire flux read to kind of fall apart. It's still all exposed because there's no shell. You can. You might need a light source. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, remember when cameras, flashlights and cameras used to be a novel feature? Yeah. I am. But here is clenched. Please do not let this drive die on me a second time. I literally, I have a stack of floppy drives in this drawer.
It's like to the point where we collected it's like mental health more than we probably should.
Well, I'm sorry that I consider data preservation an important thing.
For certain that you consider preservation of data.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
Well, you know, if you found a set of Internet Archive of bulletin board system backups on 5 1/4 floppy disks, you're going to find ASCII porn.
New codes.
All right, let's see if that actually read successfully.
Isn't that how the Windows XP don't happen?
I haven't actually been following that. It wouldn't surprise me if that's how that happened.
I don't think that's how that happened.
All right. Please be okay. 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 It takes so long to see. I get worried when it takes that long to read. Okay, that's another one done. Bump, bump, bump. No one bites the dust. No one bites the dust. Boom, boom, boom.
I should probably remind that if you have any questions about what the hell N-Command is doing or talking about, please let us know in chat. Otherwise, keep lurking and keep learning.
Yep. I will note that we are going to probably take a 2-minute break here in a moment where I put Sidepocket on because, unfortunately...
I thought you were going to say where I put Sidepocket in a cage. I can do the second part of the episode.
Well, no, that's our fundraiser. The fundraiser is if we raise this much money for charity, Sidepocket gets in the cage. If we raise this much money past
I
charity,
might consider that for the Halloween.
Sidepocket comes out of the cage.
Yeah. I actually might consider that. Not claustrophobic, but
Yep. So I'm going to put Sidepocket on the stream for about a minute or two, just because I have reached full bladder capacity.
This is where our user tank.
Yep.
And also don't forget to send the thing while you're on the cam.
Send what thing?
The help me money.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh god, this is what it's like. Man, I keep forgetting how much N-Commander, like, he's very sit down tall. So like I feel like a little like, you ever see like little kids wear their parents' clothes? Like I feel that sitting in his chair. It's like I'm so short and these monitors are so huge. I guess I have to go up to them. Hi out there. Yep, viewership tanks. Hi out there. N-Commander as he dumps I don't know what number disc he's on. As when he dumps number 9, he has to go number 1. So that's why I'm on here. But hi, for all those you don't know, because you normally don't see me on the show, I am Sidepocket. I'm one of the 2 co-founders of DEFCON 201. Once again, as I keep spieling, we are a computer hacker group located in Jersey City, New Jersey. We do a lot of like cool stuff. We meet third Friday of every month, meaning we used to meet in person, and then COVID happened, and police officers like to beat people because they have a face. And we decided to live stream all of our stuff like we're doing right now. So in addition to our meeting, which will be on the 16th, which is this Friday, we also have a bunch of other shows such as Hack All N-Commander as I play the Animal Crossings. And again, if you like what you see, you can click that bell, hit like, share, follow, subscribe on Twitch TV Live or YouTube, as N-Commander is going to do horrible things behind me. And yeah, Jack found out the hard way that I'm really good at like spatial awareness. He's not. Yeah, Jack's our other co-founder. And if you... You can click that, and again, when you follow, which I'm actually going to check in a moment, I will cheer you on. So hope to see you on Friday. In the meantime, keep pumping and dumping.
Pretty much what we're actually doing. So if you want to see the floppy drive spinning, you could do it on Instagram.
Yeah, we can do that too. Let's see. I'll give you a URL. I mean, everyone else. Well, actually, I can shoot it. Because last time.
Well, I think you're on my guest network, not on my home network.
That's fine. No, I mean, you can put the. Trying to think.
Yes, but you're on my guest network, which means I won't.
Feels tank.
No, you're on a completely separate VLAN. You're.
No, no.
I was smart enough to firewall you.
No. What I'm saying is, remember that app that I have?
Yes, I remember your app.
The URL, you're going to enter the URL into your thing. It's either a Windows capture or a browser capture. So I'm going to show you the URL and you're going to enter that in.
Well, I can't do well, yeah, it's complicated, but so B-Snipe 1, it's interesting you asked me about network monitoring software.
Oh, jeez.
Because I did an entire startup related to developing network monitoring software. It's called the Network Data Recorder. The full source code is on GitHub, although it's not under my GitHub. I have things to say about Snort here. It is not a complete solution. I do not recommend it for individual users because there is no UI. But if you ever want to build a network project, or if you want to hire me, that would be nice. You know, I do wonder if these disks were literally individually numbered. Like if this is a serial number like 1192. So. Well, so what I know about Vines is it was very limited copies were ever sold, like less than 1,000. So I actually wonder if this number on this disc, because unfortunately I can't search and find another copy of the disc to look at it, is actually a want to film the floppy drive as it spins, because it's going to spin baby spin you all night long.
I can do that with my program. So what you're saying is I should stream it spinning on Instagram and then you're going to load up Instagram?
I can do that.
Okay. That's a lot easier than doing the URL thing?
Yes, we can do that. Okay, get on in.
Okay, because I think the URL thing would be easier, to be honest.
Well, I can load Instagram on my desktop, and we get all the people on Instagram that we can't.
Okay, here we go.
We.
Here we go.
This is what normally happens behind the camera.
We're doing this. Just give me a moment.
All right.
I miss my friend's stripping show.
My show used to be family friendly, and then I met Sidepocket. Our Instagram is DEFCON just 201.
Yes. Yeah, the only one that's
Why am I?
odd is
Why did I get a certificate warning and then it loaded?
that sounds like something owned by Facebook.
Okay, so when you go live streaming, all right,
Yeah.
we'll bring that back.
I'm gonna try this.
Okay, we've got plenty of discs. We can watch it spin all night long. Yeah, I gotta tell you, having multiple screens while doing this is so much
I
more
don't have
human.
a phone holder, so-
Well, that's what your hands are for.
I know, but I can't stand it.
Okay, well, there's a chair right there.
Oh, okay, I'm just moving this stuff over there.
No, it's right here on the floor. Grab that chair.
I guess I'll move stuff over this way.
Yes. Okay. So I keep things on my chairs.
I do too. It's just more of like, what chairs and move this pipe bomb looking thing. Oh, cool.
Yes, and I have my bike flashlight pointed at it.
I can do this.
Yep. So on one side you can see the heads moving. On the other,
Ha. I'm gonna turn my flashlight.
okay. So we are currently working on getting a close-up on a spinning floppy drive.
Actually, you have to turn that because apparently I can't use it while it's streaming. Okay, so I'm gonna start the live.
Okay. So now we have now effectively crossed the streams.
Hi everyone on the Instagrams. I wasn't expecting to be on stream, but that's also what she said. And when I mean she, I mean I'm here with N Commander here, who is right now streaming Hack All N Commander. And the reason why we have the stream running is because I'm going to flip it over. And here is the floppy disk spinning.
If you look on the other side, you can see the head moving.
Kinky. I don't know if there's enough light. I'll hold it.
See. This is the poor man's production studio. One guy holds the light.
Give me the flip and I'll do it. And just let me know if you can stream on your end.
Oh yes, I should make it so the people on the Twitch stream can see the thing spinning.
Watching me, I have this really threatening bottle of Coca-Cola between my legs.
That's really neat. We're watching it spin. We're watching it spin. We've gone full Inception here, people. We have gone full Inception.
Can people see it?
Yeah, they can see it. Yeah.
I can't check the stream.
Okay, can people in chat confirm that they can see the Instagram chain?
Spinning.
Yeah, that's because that disc finished. All right, we're just gonna go right on to the next disc.
I have this really threatening bottle of Coca-Cola between my legs. That's really neat.
It's old school retro porn. It's going around and around and around and around. Holy cow, people are getting on.
Same here. It's hard to do this with two hands. I can't check the stream right now.
Check it out.
Okay, what disc is this we're on?
This is disc 11 of 19.
And then we'll celebrate. We're just gonna go right on to the
Okay. Can see. All right, so let's keep that on. For people that want to see my desktop, where I'm actually analyzing the discs to see if it actually is working.
about this the most.
Yeah, you can see how ghetto it is that I had to literally take a panel off my desktop to get the power cords.
I have a phone holder. And then we'll celebrate at my apartment.
Well, we know what to bring next time.
Yep.
Yep, we've got quite a few people here. So, we're currently on Twitch, Twitch TV, DEFCON 201 NJ.
It's like a way to pin it, but my hands are full. So.
Yeah, no, I know, I get it. I'm also in that chat. We are multitasking. We've hit we've reached the top, the 1%, not the 1%, the pinnacle of streaming, that when our streaming technology has reached the point that we have a production team. And this is the production team. He's under me, and he's...
Production. Wait a minute, but my hands are full.
So, alright, let's see here. Just 10. Alright, let's see if we have a successful read and a dump. We have, wow, holy cow, that's a lot of people joining.
Yeah. I know, that's why I wish I could directly connect this.
We could do it. We can make it happen. That we have the technology.
Because one of the main problems with Twitch is that here's the suck part. The only time, and I've done this a couple of times, that this really works for one of our shows, is the problem is that you can't see screens unless you see them off the screen. Like, that's the data that's reading right now for all you people at home.
Yep.
Is where it really works well with Master of Unlocking, but my phone is also the one that does the close-up camera.
Twitch is that here's the suck part.
Now the cool part is that the upcoming Master of Unlocking this Sunday, I'm going to be interviewing people, so I'll actually be able to stream on Instagram for once. That's one of the rare times. It's like, why really?
Holy cow, there is a lot of lag with the Instagram stream.
Yes, there is.
I'm sorry, I used to work at Mixer. Lag. If you want to see me Twitch.
If you want to see him Twitch about Mixer.
So I got pulled into an entire thread on Twitter. Let's see here. How are these? Yeah, these are all apparently.
I still regret not picking photos of you at the Mixer booth.
Well, how did we know that we didn't have any reason to think that Mixer was going to stop existing?
Come back next time. D-Live was also there, and that was before we were streaming. So, hey, next time I'll take it out. Like, I don't even know. Like, right now, it's a coin toss up if PAX East is going to be actually in person or digital. So we're just on like standby.
Hold on. Yeah, I know. I just realized I might have made a mistake.
Oh, great.
No, I may have just let's see. Yeah, okay, I did make a mistake. I accidentally one of the files, but I've got the original.
You accidental the dongle.
I accidentally dongled. I dongled so hard I accidentally dongled the dongle.
You dongled Trump on my standby. That's the sound of a proud word. Not that kind of proud word.
No, It's the type of Proud Boy that's just kind of dying a little bit on the inside. So what I did is I accidentally converted the same file more than once. This is why I took a SHA-1 sum. Yes, I know SHA-1 is obsolete. It's fine if you're using it as a CRC. And then this is when the internet comes to correct me. Don't you dare clip that. I'm ignoring it. The trick of being successful in showbiz is ignore the camera. Did I actually do this correctly? Okay, yeah, so now that's all compressed data. So hopefully I'm doing this all right. Maybe. I don't know. Folks, if you want me to hit him, please let me know in stream.
You can hit me for bits if you're on Twitch, or lemons on D-Live.
Yeah, if you want to hear sounds of Sidepocket in pain. Yeah, I don't. Is my chat not updating?
What's odd is that my restream shows a lot more users. If you want me to hit him, please let me know in stream. So, oh, cool. We have chatception. We can do this.
Yeah. If you want to hear sounds of Sidepocket in pain. Well, I like how you see the wobble.
Yeah.
Because that's literally an artifact of how the disc was mastered. Yeah. If I had a copy of Windows 95, this looks really, really interesting because Microsoft did unspeakable horrors to get 1.7 megabytes onto a single floppy disk. So, but this is what a normal floppy disk is supposed to look like. So let's export this. I do wish the tools for this was a little less in the El Shido category. They're bad.
They ever make a software company?
Yeah, El Shido, subsidiary of Fail Factory.
Subsidiary of Canonical. I can't say that. I can.
Yeah, well, the problem is that my ex-employer still has my soul retroactively. Let's see here. Okay, disc 12 of 19.
I like now when I'm streaming, that's when everyone wants to chat on their phone. Hey, you're trying to do stuff.
Well, where's Clippy? Looks like you're trying to save make a backup.
Hey, it looks like you're trying to archive.
Oh my god, now... God damn it! I had a horrible idea for a programming project.
I just had a horrible idea for a Halloween costume.
No, you're not going as Clippy.
No, Bonsai Buddy. I don't even have to fake any of my personality.
So, this will probably never show up on a Hackle End Commander because I don't hate myself this much. But the technology behind Bonsai Buddy and Clippy was called Microsoft Agent.
Yes.
And there was an SDK for it. Which means I could in fact create a Clippy for doing disk archive and imaging.
I don't even have Jason Scott's face.
So, this will probably never show up on a Hackle End Commander because I don't. Okay, let me put it to you. Okay, if we get significant enough donations that Sidepocket, the DEFCON 2.1 can buy me software to archive, I will consider it for like a $1,000 raised goal. But I will be drinking heavily throughout the stream.
Hey, I remember
because I don't want to be the guy that created Clippy to archive.
Hey, don't forget we thought it was going to be impossible to raise $800.
Okay, let me put it to you. Okay,
live stream, someone just dropped like over half of that in there, so don't underestimate our viewers.
I will consider it for like. The thing is, I know the person who actually did that, and they did that specifically to heavily throughout the stream.
Hey,
So to answer, buy-in. Yeah, no, they could have afforded CD-ROM drives in 1992, 1993. The first commercial CD-ROM drive was what, 85?
I love that you call it buy-in instead of.
It's after the trade.
No, because all I keep thinking is it's like buy-in Harris.
I don't know. I have pronunciation issues.
Vote buy-in Harris, not Trump Vines. You know. Just oh God. When people vote you Windows for work groups, Republicans for work groups.
How to watch N Commander die inside.
That was the original name for the show. So it's now I wonder why everybody never published on CD. Their customers certainly could afford them in 1992.
Oh, could afford them. I misread that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is that a lot of servers didn't. NetWare was shipping floppy disks for it.
Recording of it spinning or something.
It's completely up to you.
Okay, 'cause it's not. I don't think it's on the screen.
I have limits of how.
No, it's fine. I can test. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Okay, hold on.
We're gonna do an unofficial tour.
That's fine. I cleaned up. I made sure the bodies are not on stream. Yep. Yeah. How many people do you see currently in the stream? Just out of curiosity. 7. Okay, I only see 4. I know. Well, you're the one who brought it up, so that the problem is that I'm a highly creative person, and you did something. You brought up the shiny.
Okay, so it is kind of showing. It's like all the way shoved in the corners. Like basically the floppy emulator menu.
Yes. Oh, so now apparently you're streaming
Ignore the
food.
amount of people
Yeah,
on there.
I was doing that while I looked down.
Is there
Oh,
alcohol?
you got hearts for the onions.
I don't think my chat's updating
Is
properly.
there alcohol?
That-
I wish.
I don't drink.
I mean,
We have Diet Coke. We have lots of it. Okay.
Is in the way of my face.
Spin baby, spin baby. Yes. So you can see my floor. You can see me. You can see the thing. When
dead insects that walk in the great battle of End Commander.
yeah. Well, I'm just waiting for the fly to come in, and then there to be a burst of magic smoke.
The fly landed on the Supreme Court now. Huh?
Oh, so it migrated from tents?
Yes. I honestly think that's why they're focusing on Biden's emails, because whether it's right or wrong, they're probably like, oh, thank God, we can talk about this now.
Yeah, it's spinning. So I had to completely strip this drive down to. So I don't know what it is about these floppy drives, but every single screw fracking stripped on me. People that cheap out on screws have a special place in my
What
heart.
you're saying is you got screwed.
Whack!
You can see the head switching.
Well, no, that's on the other side.
Yeah, that's what I'm pointing at.
Okay.
You just have a delay and it just stops spinning.
Yeah, well, that's because that disk finished upping. There is, you realize that we're only reading 1.2 megabytes per disk.
Right.
Okay, so let's see here.
What you're saying is you got
Archive,
screwed.
Vines, disk 12. Okay.
I'm gonna say something that when Jack sees this later on, he's gonna groan. G.I. Jack is a co-founder for those on the show. The sad part is that this is still easier
You realize that we're only reading
than doing mass Pac-Man management.
Wow, that disk is really full.
Yeah.
Because that's the dark.
And
Oh, well, hold on. Let me show you what accessibility looks like. The dark green is written data. The light green is unformatted data. That accessibility.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even notice this at first, and you know what? I feel like I need to show this UI to Neo.
I can imagine someone who had bloodshot eyes design the color scheme for all of this.
I had to compile this stuff from source, so all right, let's get this one ran out. We are in the home stretch. Seven more discs left. 7.
Chaos Emerald.
So it's a Windows 3.1 install.
Dragon Ball,
Because I didn't even notice the Windows 3.1 install.
So on the 7th disc, basically, Dragon Ball now gets
It's here. Eternal Dragon! I want an Apple Lisa that works. It's almost priceless.
It's like chaos.
Or an Apple One.
So on the 7th disc, basically the 3 dragons that come out. We get to make a
No, I want my floppy disks to survive.
That would actually be a funny joke. Like, if they ever do the stupid hackathon, I'm gonna make that the floppy holder for iPhone 12 or Apple One.
There will be death. There will be murder. No, I
You know what sucks? I actually found the awesome music they played for the commercial
That would
for
actually
that,
be a
and
funny
sadly,
like,
it's been a
if they
day
ever do
later, and
this
the
in the
woman,
hackathon,
the awesome indie woman who made it still doesn't really have that many views.
floppy folders.
Well, that's normally how it all plays out because, you know, create.
Well, when songs happen in video games, they go from like a billion people, like,
No, that's only for things called Final Fantasy.
or Cyberpunk 2077.
See, I haven't gotten into that. It's really cool watching myself insert the disc on a time delay.
Yes, it's like a little time capsule.
I feel like you're going to be clipping this, aren't you?
Oh, I'm already gonna clip it when you guys like Jason shot 2.3 and a couple of other things.
Well, I'm still waiting for the best of End Commander video.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do that in video.
I'm afraid. Are you not going to let me do a hacker rant? You're just going to compose a hacker rant out of my other rants?
Actually, that would be hilarious. We're gonna make an AI bot that simulates Egg Commander having a meltdown, so that way he just hits a button and it does it for him.
Hi, Instagram.
So it's just like he just hits the button and it's like, screws, unreadable floppies, non-standard disk format accessibility, damn it.
Now I feel like we should be doing a Reddit broadcast for this because we need to make the magnet spin. Because now I love that this is a two-man operation. One man is holding the camera, the other one is stirring the disc and watching the progress bar. Let there be light.
I'm so glad I'm on your Wi-Fi because I'd be eating so much data right now.
Are you actually on my Wi-Fi? Okay. I'm amazed that. So, folks, let it be said that Comcast is actually usable for streaming in New Jersey. This is, in fact, a positive endorsement of Comcast. Obviously, I've been archiving discs for too long.
Also, fuck Comcast.
Yep, that too. Yeah, well, it's not like Verizon is all well.
Verizon's the libertarian party.
So Eldorado, Edorado, I was actually, I could actually, hold on, wait a minute. We could just do this.
Also, fuck Comcast.
Yeah, I just realized we have another camera
Yeah.
because let's see if I can just get the cord.
Yeah, I actually know how to manipulate this, so I'm gonna figure
Here,
out.
just help me.
We're gonna go off stream now. Thank you for watching Spinning Discs and End Commander slowly dying inside. So peace everybody.
Yeah, well, we still need light.
Say
Bye
bye.
bye. Ah. There. And hey, we can see it spinning. Spin, baby, spin, baby.
Just stop spinning.
Yes, I know it stopped spinning because the disc dumped.
That's a lot easier for me than holding.
Well,
My phone.
occasionally the chat has to tell us the obvious thing that we are not
I
thinking
have
of.
a chunky phone. Yeah, that happens. That happens a lot on my streams. Thankfully, that hasn't happened on Master Phone Locking, but it has happened on Crypto Parents because I need all the programming help I can get.
Okay. Disc 14. So you want to know the amazing part about all this? Collectively, we've dumped about 30 megabytes worth of data, and it's only taken us 2 hours to do it.
Sounds about right. Those are the modem speeds I remember.
Okay, so let's get 14. Alright, 14 is spinning. Let's see if 13 was a good dump.
Unfortunately, I don't have to. I was hoping that your face being consumed by light, I'd be able to use that as the preview of it, but apparently not.
Read. Okay, that is. Yay! I'm feeling. What's this feeling? It's warm, a little fluttery inside.
Bit in your pants.
No. That just feels warm and then followed by shame. This might be. I know what it is. It's a feeling I haven't felt since the last president.
Period.
No, optimism.
Oh. Or opium.
All right, I'm currently lighting. I know the camera's pointed at the floppy drive. I am literally lighting. I'm literally lighting something on fire.
He's gonna try to burn the apartment down. He's so happy he's turned anarchist.
No. If I was really happy, I would burn down New York City and live here happily in New Jersey.
That's something I thought I'd never hear. Live happily in New Jersey.
Yeah. Well, that's when you know you've reached peak crazy. You know, but when DEFCON DEFCON New Jersey and New York take over.
So 201 and 212.
Yep, 212. Well,
Provided 212 comes back online, hit like one online meetup in April, and then they haven't done anything ever since.
Rex, even so just for those who don't actually know anything about DEFCON, the DEFCON groups, the last 3 digits are your area code, and specifically, it is the original
in America, it's whatever the area code is, because in other countries there's a lot of numbers.
Well, it's the country code and then their area code.
Yeah.
So, but yes, so in America, the last 3 digits, and they are the numbers assigned by the Bell system unless it's an overlap.
Mm-hmm.
So, because the Bell system was actually created in New Jersey, we have the lowest possible area code of 201, and 212 is New York City, which their DEFCON group has sublimed, unfortunately. So we kind of, being DEFCON 201, we also cover the New York metro area. And one of our members is trying to get DEFCON 631, which is Long Island, off the ground. We'll see if and when that happens. Yep. I just realized I saved that file in the wrong format. It's fine. This is fine. No. It's not the dump file. It's just what I'm converting it to and from. So that's just, man. This is like the most inefficient use of a floppy disk I've ever seen. It's like, what were they doing? Although I guess they didn't have to be efficient. They had other people's money. You know, it's like the federal government. From what I've heard,
Or Amazon.
from what I heard, Vines as a corporation was very similar to Oracle.
Ooh, that explains that.
Yes, it does. Although even Oracle doesn't make you use a hardware dongle. At least they don't do now. They may have actually required that back in the day. So who knows? So let's get disk 13 red. Hey. Oh. Oh.
What really sucks is I wanted to
Pretty much.
I remember like yourself like, oh, did you ever find this one used for $100? I'm like, come here, and I looked at the used and it was like minimum 300.
Yeah. You can find DVI ones cheap, but you then have to do something about the audio.
Oh god, I thought you said you could find
No. 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 Oh, let me say this again. No.
Fun fact, no was DVI type.
Was it really? Okay. Okay. Well, if I really want.
Our slogan should be DeviantArt just. No.
Well, if we really ever want to bring up a bad thing from the late 90s, early 2000s, did you know that LiveJournal used to be open source software?
Yeah.
Did you know? And did you know that I once set it up from scratch?
So here's the fun thing. Me, yeah, no, you can do that. That's why you can do it. Like, I both had a LiveJournal and a Dead Journal.
God, I remember Dead Journal.
There was also Great Journal and Zanga and a bunch of others. I was proliferant on LiveJournal back in the day, and in fact, some of my female friends that Commander Jules over, I first met on LiveJournal. What? That's the perfect sound. That sounds like you're like the urge to rise.
I'm not sure if I should throw something at him.
Well, put it this way, Commander. I've actually been talking to some of my friends because they want to be on our streams, and I can't think of a better stream to put them on than our stream.
Do they have things that need to be dumped?
was about to make a joke and say it depends on hardware or software, but that also could be seen as like a slack. So,
Are we?
when I was in Commander, good at dumping whatever. So,
No. I am not crypto. I'm sorry. I am not crypto barons.
yeah.
I don't do. I don't do.
I'm sorry if you got crypto barons. It actually should be. I'm sorry, I don't do crypto barons. I do actual programming networks.
Well, you know, if you ever want, you know what we could do? We could implement a blockchain in Ada.
Oh, that would be a fun topic. Oh, that would be.
I have to brush up on my Ada. I'm a little rusty.
I have every single free book and stuff like that.
Next year's 2 months away.
You know, I'll be too upset.
So
Sorry,
do a special on a Saturday. Give up your life. You're not using it.
actually, let me think. The first one in December, I could put that in.
Yeah. But you give up your life.
No, that actually next year would be good because early next year I'm going to be focusing on dev programming and making
Speaking of things, there is a real life thing I actually have to do before midnight. I'm going to make my phone ring. Can you go find it for me so I can do that thing for you?
Sure.
All right, it's going to start ringing here in a moment. All right, follow the sound. It's either in my room or in the kitchen. So yeah, just a little real life errand. I might have to mute the microphone while I'm doing it.
On top of the matches in the middle of the bed, like I can just scan my eyeballs and see where it was.
I'm pretty predictable.
Yeah.
All right, let me do the let me do this thing. I'm actually going to mute the microphone while I do this, folks. So I'm going to just turn up the background music for a bit, and then we. Yep. Okay, folks, I am back. Sorry about that. Real life occasionally gets in the way, but let me just say that an angel just gained its wings.
So someone found a gas cap. Pretty much.
So I have a rental car story involving a gas cap. Something I need to worry about.
No, it's something I have to worry about on my end, but
Okay.
basically, I hate life.
I can fix this.
Don't worry. Continue on with the show.
Okay. Yep. So we do have lots of other things that I want to dump and share with the world. Like well, there is a video on the Instagram that the Mr. Pocket can link to if he so chooses. Let's see here. Okay. We are at disk 15, successfully dumped. We are in the final. We are. God, is this what winning feels like?
I don't know. I wouldn't ask our president.
Well, he thinks he that's what he. The thing is, in some ways, I do envy him because he can look at all this and walk away with a happy, positive feelings. And sometimes I really wonder what it'd be like.
So you don't lie to yourself. That's good.
Yeah, but I do sometimes wonder what it'd be like to live in that type of delusional bubble.
Live in a major suburb.
I grew up in a major suburb.
Yeah.
Okay. Disc 16. I do find it interesting that the disc spins. Oh. Oh, Neosees shows up. Wild Neosee. Yes, we are. We are in the final disc the final dumping of the discs.
It's like Lord of the Rings. The dumping of the disc.
The thing is that I don't if I want to destroy these, I wouldn't have to scale High Point and chuck them into the volcano. So we are dumping vines. I did get the drive working again. We are making progress. So far, all the discs have successfully read and dumped. The ass has been fairly well clenched. Let's move the camera to the other side. Let's see
Okay,
that.
Anchorman's gonna take such a literal physical big dump after this because of how much collecting's been happening. This is such a waste.
Pretty much. Oh, cool. Now you can see the head moving.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. I don't question things that are below your desk.
I've got things I can throw at you, man. Everything is okay. Everything is good. Everything is happy. I'm in my happy place. I'm in my happy place. The media apparently has survived, although there is some real oddities with it. Like, disc 6 or 7, they wrote like all of 200 kilobytes of data and left the rest of the disc unformatted. But given what they were charging for Vines, yeah, they can afford to be not efficient. So there is a very good chance. I decided to dump all the discs and then try to do the install. So yeah. Well, the way I see it is I'm going to be panic attacking the entire time until the last 3 discs get dumped. And then what I'll do is I will take photos of the box and all the stuff that was in it, and then upload that to La Archive de Internet.
And then you do something at the same time. It's
Mostly safe for work. Okay, so let's see here. The thing is, I'm keeping my ass clenched because I'm still waiting for this drive to fail on me. Because it's already making weird squeaky noises. Okay. Alright, let's see here. I'm actually going to poke around on Discord and see if, how people are. Just because I need my... I'm suffering from slight jitters, and this isn't like playing Minecraft, where... I could do it for one day for a show. We can even play like Minecraft Alpha.
I don't mean like
Yeah, I could do that. Maybe what we may try and do is next week I might try and do another episode of Hackle and Commander, but it's going to be inconsistent if I do the intermediate weeks.
Yeah.
So my normal schedule is every other week. If my health allows... So the main reason Hackle...
Everything goes well, the next one will be on the 28th.
Yes. If Hackle and Commander... The reason why Hackle and Commander went to a bi-weekly schedule is my health did this. Ha 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 ha! Fuck you! So... I only met Vi very briefly at DEFCON.
Yeah.
So I was saying, my health basically said, ha ha ha, F you. I don't have really that much expectation that it's going to get better, but I'd like to stream more frequently, or maybe stream on the days where we just have nothing going on as an ad hoc basis. I will talk to the powers that be, because the powers that be, I've discovered how to bribe him. All it takes is lamb and onions. Okay, would you rather? You know what? You know what I could do? I can make my lamb and onions and put it on a pizza. I could. Well, no. What I really like is New Haven style pizza. It's pizza with clams, olive oil, and basically all the seafood known to mankind. No, you don't want to know what Boston style pizza. Yes, we've both lived in Boston. We both. Well, the thing is that H.P. Lovecraft did lots about talking about why Boston is a bad place. So, you know, just saying. I've never actually read the original H.P. Yep.
That sounds like a pizza place that Boston has. Welcome to Boston Dump Pizza and pizza is wicked. They have all the toppings. They have pepperoni, all cheese, some potatoes.
Sorry.
You know what I love? I love every time, like, this is how it's like I've lived with computer hackers for so long, is that, like, I now...
What was I doing?
That normal people, when they hear all that typing, they think you're, like, doing hex editing or something, and it's like, no, that's the sound of a hacker arguing with someone else on the internet.
Yeah. Well, you know, actually, the main reason I don't like Bucky screens. So I'm about to commit a sin here, but I don't actually like using Bucky Spring keyboards or the Model M keyboard as my daily driver.
Whatever keyboard works.
Well, hold on. The model using a Model M is like a religious experience. I won't deny that. But the reason I won't use one as a daily driver is that the damn keyboard's too loud. Because it literally is Wait the Dead. The only thing that's more crazy than a Bucky Spring is a Beam Spring keyboard, because I saw a yeah, okay, I know I'm committing nerd blasphemy. Well, I badmouth the Model M.
Yes. I actually, it's loud, sure.
The actual truth though is I rather have a good Model F as long as I'm using a program that I don't need the Model M keys for. The Model F, I find, due to its extra weight and the way it's a different model of Bucky Spring, it's much more satisfying to type on than the Model M. But I both recognize that they're probably the best mass-produced keyboards. Because I find like a Cherry Keyboard's Buck Spring is still nowhere as good as the old school IBM.
So I have a quick funny story about keyboards. So there was a week, it was 2 weeks, no, it was a week where I lived at Night Owl's place back when he lived in like around the Inwood area.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently while I was asleep on his couch, because I got to read this, he was in a Twitter thread with Rob T. Firefly, which is another fellow hacker that would show up occasionally on these things, but he's perfectly sandbagged in Queens. And he, what do you call it? They were talking about how I lived at Rob's place for 2 weeks, and currently Night Owl's place for a week, couch crashing due to flight stuff. And they were talking about how I wouldn't wake up for anything. Like Rob was talking about how there's all that construction outside in Washington Heights, and I wouldn't wake up. And Niall was like, yeah, I'm playing MechWarrior 4 and typing on my like M2 cast iron paddle station, and nothing, and it doesn't wake him up. And Rob says, yeah, the only thing that would probably wake him up is if we tag him in this. And they tried that, and I woke up. Like right when they tagged in the conversation, that's when I woke up. It's like, speak the devil, and he shall appear. And Commander approves.
Yes, I do. All right.
Stickers like that.
Second to last disc is spinning.
Oh crap!
I'm actually really enjoying being able to watch the camera of the disc spinning.
Yeah. You know, there's entire YouTube channels like with 3D printers and movable tech where that's all it is.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. We're following a new one where you get to crowd control a little remote control robot on a desk.
We could crowd control the stepper motor on these drives.
I didn't know that. That'd be a great future episode.
Yeah, well, you know that actually be a really neat way. I put a floppy disk in, and then we try and get the chat to dump the tracks in the correct order and reassemble the
I'm
image.
just imagining how Twitch plays workgroups for Windows.
Yeah, exactly. Windows for work groups,
Yes.
but they have to first reassemble the disk images.
Yes. That's actually something I wanted to replicate in December. One of the small online conventions, what they did was they opened up like a protected CentOS image, and basically, if you tapped commands in chat, it would actually enter them in the terminal, and so they just let people go crazy for half an hour, and it was really fun to watch.
I could set that. I could code that up.
Yeah, that's something I might look into December for, because December's our giant potpourri meeting.
Well, I'm hoping I get the hacker rant to end all hacker rants
So
again.
as far as because we're live streaming, technically we literally go on forever. There's no like shutdown besides when we literally get sick and tired of you.
I could literally go. So, do you want? If we want to do a charity drive, I will stream for a 24-hour nonstop period.
I will say we haven't announced this yet, so I guess as a preview, we are going to be. I've been looking into going back to doing a month charity drive in November. And I actually found a group that directly partners with Twitch that does not only just mental health in general, but does mental
The
health.
web camera is on the floor.
This stuff through Twitch, not just for the microphone.
Oh, that's
So
fair.
yeah, so like they actually like you can install, for example, one of their widgets, and if you're having an episode, you can actually use the widget to like immediately like contact someone who can talk with you on the stream for that. So like I'm looking into doing that for November because it's the month of giving. Unfortunately, we stalled the Native American land, never gave it back. So let's use capitalism against itself.
He's optimistic, but his heart's in the right place.
Yes. So is my pants. What? Also, if you really like watching, right now you're just seeing disc being imaged, but if you're interested in watching Egg Commander being disappointed and doing really cool hacks or other shows or upcoming meetup on October 16th, you can hit that bell, follow button, like, share, and subscribe on Twitch, Live, and YouTube. Facebook, we're working on coming soon, as much as the platform drives us crazy. And I'm actually going to check notifications in a moment and see if anyone has followed us, and we will announce those on air, whether you're on Twitch, Live, or YouTube.
So we've got the last disc in my hands.
If this properly loads, we can officially say Cell is cursed.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the sad part. It sucks because he's a good dude. He fixes a lot of things. But he's cursed.
Well, he suffers from the poly effect.
Yes. He brought Long Island into the sacred grounds.
Yeah, he brought Long Island into New Jersey,
Yeah.
and for that we cannot forgive him.
It's actually, let me check to see.
Do 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 do.
That would be kind of.
That's Carol of the Bells. There's probably some asshat that would claim it.
Yeah, well, remember, Happy Birthday for the longest time was copyrighted. So
Well, the melody isn't. It's just the music, the lyrics, because you can't copyright melodies, as far as I remember it. You can only copyright an individual performance of it.
which is why a lot of the algorithms suck, because what they do is they ID the melodies.
God. No, it's not. It's not. It's still October. I should not be whistling Christmas music.
Yes, I was about to bring that up, actually. Like, how dare you?
I might have been going a little crazy because
Not today, but they have excellent
thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. We need more followers. People, bring your friends, bring your relatives.
Not easy to run a cult people.
No, but wait a minute, but I don't really want to say more than that because hey, we got someone apparently followed, or at least just said there followed. So thank you, Gaming Dow, for following, because the guilt trip. Apparently guilt tripping your audience works.
Is that the I'm the one that thinks the video machine, so I don't get the alerts?
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I like. So here's the worst part about this. So I used to work professionally in streaming, and I told Sidepocket when we were doing this, saying this all back, that use Windows. It will make your life suck less. And I'm the guy that does all the streaming on Linux, and it's like I am such a hypocrite.
Thank you for following us on Twitch. You get alerts for when our meeting is up on this Friday. We actually are probably going to have honestly a whole weekend of streaming.
Yeah. For all we know, that we might end up. Well, the main reason I stream on Linux is primarily because half the shit I do would be very difficult to do on Windows.
Yeah. Well, you see me try to do tails at last say, okay, I put a camera on a computer and I figure out how to get it to load again.
Do we want to take a slight breather where I show him how to load Tails into a VM? Do we want to see show of hands in chat? Do we want to see Sidepocket's mind blown? You do.
They just changed their logo color and now it looks like a lava lamp.
All right. Let's see if that last disc dumped.
Preload Keybase just in case.
Disc 19. Okay. All right. So apparently one person wants to see your mind blown.
Okay. When I said I wanted to get blown on Wednesday, it's not what I had in mind, but... Well, first of all, you can't see the mind blown because the camera's not on me.
Okay. That is the last disc. No, wait. Hold on. No, we've got a bat.
The thin red lines.
The thin red line.
The fire department trying to get at you.
Yeah, that's a thin red line, but that may not be death. Let's try dumping it again because that happened with the first disc.
Let's just preliminary. I'm gonna move the camera back up.
That's fine. I will redump this, but even then, this is probably not a complete failure. Press and hold. Alright, that's gonna try dumping. Do I have a copy of Tails?
Let it vibrate.
Do I have a copy of Tails in my... I do have a copy of Tails. And apparently I also have a copy of Windows 3.1 Retail. I like how that came out. So, if I remember correctly, so... This...
Because I was trying to do it through... Basically, here's how
Yeah.
new buy-in with it. Virtual machine from Oracle does not understand the IMG format.
Yeah, it does. You just have to be a little more persuasive with it.
Yeah, see, I don't know how to do that. I literally tried looking it up too, and I couldn't find it.
So, alright.
Everything that I found out about it.
So, yeah, you can tell all the number of retro projects I've done.
Was apparently back in 2016 they had the actual ISO.
Yeah.
So I couldn't use that piece of information anymore.
So, basically, you do Linux Tails.
Okay.
Just create one. You do not create a hard drive.
Okay.
Then you go to storage. Let's see here. Then you go to add a hard drive. Add. And then if I go, I have to rename this because it does care about the extension. NV Tails IMG. I could probably convince it otherwise, but it go to downloads.
Yeah, did the terminal make like essentially specially formatted?
Yeah, hold on. No, I actually what I gotta do is I gotta run it through QImage. There is a way to do this. It's because I know I got this to work. Yeah, you have to do a QImage convert.
I've seen tutorials where people are running Tails on Windows, and I'm like, damn it.
Tails VDKM. Let that run. Because what that'll do is convert the disk format. And then that should be in my temp folder. Wrong folder.
You could actually probably publish this as a tutorial on our blog.
I probably can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, what really sucks, I have to update the
Did I do a thing? I did the thing. I did the thing where I screwed up.
The free node guide because the current method I have for working on Windows doesn't work anymore because of the way XChat on Windows does its folders. So I actually have to do like cutting edge research because no one has information about that.
Yeah, hold on. I always forget the syntax of this command.
Okay, I'll shut up.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We can multitask. Tails is designed not to leave artifacts.
Right.
It might leave some in a VM because it's not really meant to be used in a VM, but there's no reason why it shouldn't.
Ooh, did I pack that with me?
Let's see here.
Hold on, let me check, see if I can pack it.
Okay, so Sidepocket's going to go check something. Let's see here. I need to. That's right. It's convert O, and then what was the format?
I don't know if it's on the latest one because he actually asked me to see if he'd run into the same problem.
Okay.
There's two things that don't like to play well in VMs for us.
Okay.
Tails OS and Neo OS.
Yeah, well, one of those has a jack problem.
He wants to see if you can find me with the jack problem since he doesn't know.
Okay, let's all right, flip the switch. And of course it shows up over here.
So basically you had to create a specific folder for the...
No, I just had to change the format.
Okay.
See if it actually boots though.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do the other search earlier.
It's a one-liner.
Yeah.
See, I feel like an IBM engineer because it's a one-line fix. It's, you know, at the end of the day, it's a one-line fix. The expensive part is the guy who knows the knowledge.
Yeah.
Let me hit escape just so it's here. Yeah, no, it's still trying to boot.
Yeah, just Tails and Toast that takes forever.
Yeah, well, it's doing all the shit. There might be some glitches with this, but it shouldn't really be a big
That's
deal.
fine. I was just curious because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to use it for future things. I knew, even when I was doing last crypto barons, like because I tried it before, I knew that me trying to get it running on Tails was not going to work. Mainly because which I have to go to the forums and ask. The problem with Deep Onion is that they used to have, why I understand they used to have independent repos for their wallet, and they don't anymore.
See, I can't tell if I can't tell if Tails is actually booting because nothing's actually
I just
happening.
realized that this instance with the camera, my hair looks like some weird piece of abstract art.
So, as far as PowerShell is concerned, there is nothing.
Yes.
God damn it! It failed the boot.
I was gonna say, like, you
I was optimistic, and then it
you invoke PowerShell, and so thus it fails.
unable to find a medium containing a live file system. What the shit? Where did it go? I've been cursed, damn it! Cursed!
Whack, damn it.
Oh, I know what happened. I know what happened.
Ooh, that would be a funny episode title. I don't know what subject we covered. This quack team.
Serious. SDA1 melt. I have gotten this to work. I got to boot. It just
Said
did.
said Herberus, then Neo said it's so old it won't have the signature.
Yes, I know it was hubris. Okay, let's see here. Edit. I want to edit the boot entry. Let's see here. So that gets that. That gets that. Blah blah blah. That gets the RAM disk. Let's see here. So that looks for the RAM disk. Oh, okay. Hold on. Power off. Okay, let me in here. God damn it! This has become a matter of honor.
For honor.
Plus USB. Yeah, okay. I knew there was a less stupid way to do this.
The problem in tech is there's always a less stupid way to do this. The problem is trying to figure out what it is.
Add existing hard drive. Tails VDAM. Alright, and then that should show up. Let's see if that actually works the way it's supposed to. Sort of. Oh, right. Let me make it a UEFI thing. The reason I say let me make it a UEFI thing is because I'm pretty sure this isn't smart enough.
I think I just found a post that called me out. It says, "How do you know everyone, bro? I talk to fucking everyone when I'm drunk."
Okay, getting dumped to shell is not a good sign. Alright. I know what I'm doing.
That should have been the name of the show. The N Commander knows what he's doing show.
Let's see here.
Oh, that is the wettest, saddest black cat.
Oh, that is so pathetic. That is so flippin' pathetic.
I'll send it to you for
Yeah, so, okay, why... So apparently you can't boot from a USB device in VirtualBox because we live in the future and the future sucks.
Yes. Welcome to the future where everything's proprietary, nothing's compatible. It's like we loop back around to like the early 90s all over again.
Okay, so let me just remove the SATA controller. So this is a USB. You're there, you're in port 0. Why is there... Okay, so maybe hubris was in fact the right word here. Let's see here. 2, 1, and this drops to a shell.
Drop the whole like
And this is where an N commander murdered something.
You blew my mind of how much it didn't work.
Well, something had to fail.
Yes.
Something had.
Welcome to the N Commander fail show.
All right.
Wait, we still have to bring back. We need to do. Maybe that's what we'll do for like New Year's or like your last show before New Year's is we'll actually physically bring the fail server and do an entire proper tour of it.
Yeah, the problem is if we bring the fail server here, there's a very good chance that the.
No, we're not plugging in. Are you kidding me? I'm talking about like just give it a tour.
But I like having a substation in my basement.
Yeah, I also don't like you living on an unstable nuclear reactor.
Okay.
New Jersey's already bad enough.
El Dorado, it's not a perfectly good ISO image. It's a fat file system pretending to be an ISO image.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the main problem.
It's not actually an ISO image. See, I know what the problem is. What?
Watching. There's a whole trend thing of like people throwing boots or whatever, and then they do a cut where right when their legs cross the boots, they turn into like their other outfit that matches the boots. And one of my friends just did that in a very clever way.
Oh, hold on. I know what the problem is. I know what the problem is. Oh boy. So, okay, so this is actually a problem that also happens in Ubuntu. Here. Right, so it's thinking it's booting from an ISO and not a USB image, which is not correct because it's been installed. Let me see if there's a way to avoid this. I remember this problem. It has come back to me. All right, we'll see if this times out. I don't think it will. Let's see here. USB. First boot. Let's see here. Controller SATA. I mean, I could try it. I actually want to get back to installing Vines, but I stupidly accepted this challenge and let's see here. FSUID. Okay, so there is this really annoying and stupid thing that they're doing. Why do they have a hard-coded UUID for partitions? Why would you do that? Why, dude?
Because it's the Tor Foundation. I noticed, okay, so this is going to be a bad joke that might get me thrown back to the bench. What is the Tor Foundation and the Monero Foundation?
Let's not go. Alright, you know what? We're going to take a closer look at this. Sorry, this has just became a matter of pride. We are going to try and install Vines. But god damn it, Sidepocket managed to annoy me, so...
Well, I can answer that for you. So, what the main thing that the Tor Foundation and the Monero Foundation have in common is that their core product, their core service, aka Tor browser with Tor nodes and Monero itself, like the blockchain, works. All the projects outside of it really effing well.
Okay, so... Alright, so if I look at the Vines file system... CFI. Okay, so if I do.
I love how I like accidentally hacker challenges. Every time I'm around, there's always some sort of like, oh, this
Well, that's always a good thing is when you see recursive partition on dev loop 1.
oh no.
Probably because it's doing some stupid fracking raffle factor.
So you truly are a Microsoft engineer at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so dev 0, OF, temp. Let's see here. Yeah, what the frack? Are you supposed to with Tails? Are you supposed to DD it, or are you supposed to copy the files, or do they have one of those stupid utilities to make the the pen stick?
Let me think. So what they recommend is usually a third-party program. So they usually recommend, like, if you're on Windows, you use Rufus or something.
Right. Okay. So they're doing something completely fucking stupid.
Yes.
All right. So let me write.
That's the easy answer.
Okay. Fine. We are going full nuclear on this. Okay. We are going so old school. It's going. The old school is old school.
It's going so old school. Neo will wake up.
Okay. So byte size, 2 gig, count 1. And I'm just writing this to my RAM disk because I have 32 gigs of RAM.
Watch, this will crash your Commander's computer.
Okay.
I will officially pwned Commander by just making a suggestion.
You nerd sniped me. That's what you did. Okay, so make part.
Hey, you're the one. See, you dissed the M2 keyboard, and now you're cursed.
I'm not going to justify that with an answer. So if I want to make a partition, make part, we want to be a FAT32 partition. We start at 1 MB, we'll end at 2.1. I'm guessing if I copy all the files by hand, okay, that works. Quit. Kpart x AV temp tails blah blah blah. Make dir p temp lot 2. Yeah, because I feel real original right now. Map loop. All right, 2 part 1 temp lot 2. Because what I'm doing right now is I am basically making a. Oh right, I need to format it. Makefs vfat dev map looper v0p1. Yes. This is all your fault. I just want you to know that. Normally it is, but in this particular case, no. Okay. And then I also need the .disk folder. Let's get that. Okay. And then let's just see if we can boot with that. Let's get some memory. Give it a hard disk. Booting from hard disk. Probably I needed something more than that, but who knows. Ah, well, there goes my community. Here, image format, probably just raw. Alright, we will probably come back to this later because I feel like an honor challenge has been thrown down. But before we do that, I will try 1 or 2. Never invite him into your house because he'll move in and then never leave.
It's like a vampire. You invite me in. Literally, actually.
Everything is good. Everything is fine.
Hey, at least I'm not like Dumb and Dumber, you know? Do I know what the most sonic sound in the world is?
I'm trying not to think about that because I know certain people that would fall into that category.
That's why you moved here. I remember having.
Why is that not supported? Why is that not supported?
Not supported.
Why is that not so
Welcome to a
funny?
new episode of Why Is That Not Funny?
I'm okay. I'm okay. And Commander's not having a slight breakdown. Stop gloating.
That's me being, you know, like those gremlins that take apart planes? I'm like that, but with like digital stuff.
Why is this not booting? Oh, right, because it was probably the boot sector installed. Frack me and using UEFI with this piece of shit is not easy.
Why don't we take a break and do something easier, like dumping vines?
We already finished dumping vines.
Oh, it did the 21?
Yeah, we did the 21.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, no, that you missed that part.
Okay, I'm sending you the link now.
You put the last disc and then return it to its coffin.
I just sent you the celebratory thing on
All right.
eBay.
I'm putting this back in the box.
Promise that's not porn.
Well, I just have to figure out how I'm gonna open my Keybase without leaking my messages. Let me just turn off the. I do, but it might pop up in this one. It didn't, but. All right. Put the link. Why did it go over there? Okay, fine. Okay. No, it literally it spawned on a different work. Yeah, it literally spawned on a different. No, wrong thing. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
21! I won! Suck my dick! Now we can hear the music.
Well, no, that's simply because I have the music so turned down. Okay, we are going to install vines because if I look more at Tails,
This to be continued on a future episode.
that it is going to be
It's
continued.
already like 10:42.
You can go home if you want.
No, I'm just.
Or do you want to stay here for the full madness?
Might do that, might not. We'll see. Because eventually I have to go home and work out anyhow. So.
My floor is welcoming. So, all right. So the first thing you do when you
the Nintendo Switch, but not the rest of the workout equipment.
the first thing you do is you always make a copy of your reference discs because I don't know if this is going to try and read and or write discs. It probably will, but who knows?
Let's find out.
So do I have a? So we're going to use PCM because I'm almost certain that this is going to do something stupid.
You're dealing with software, emulated software. Of course, it's gonna do something stupid.
Yeah. I'm.
Yeah.
We're starting from a place of we know this is going to do something stupid.
It's like saying I'm gonna be dealing with the United States government, so something slightly corrupt might happen.
Okay, so let's call this vines. And what are we going to emulate? Let's go with a WinBIOS. 16 megs of RAM. Let's see here. Let's give it a halfway decent. Let's go with a good Trident video card because X actually had drivers for those. So on the offhand, I don't think Vines has X. I'd be very surprised if it does. And then let's pick a good hard drives type. Type 46. Vines. IMG. Make it. Okay. Disk 1 is going to be 5 1/4. 3 1/4. That's correct. And we will put an NE2000 card in there. We won't really be able to explore the system. I'm mostly just seeing if we can install the system. Okay. Alright, so first thing that's going to boot up. Change drive B. Okay, so let's put install 1 in. Run setup utility. And then after... Let's see here. So floppy A is that. Floppy B is that.
That is a wobbly keyboard.
That's because it's just not lying flat. There we go. Okay, that's good. I do always love that these come with an antivirus.
Yes.
Oh, I really like that. It even comes with an advertisement. For complete virus protection, package contact at by AMI. Okay.
Nickel and diamond.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, let's let it boot up. Let's switch the VM so the VM is full screen because there'll be nothing else really to see. So you go here. Not ready. Okay. Optimistic first sign.
Opsec.
Okay, why did I not put the disk in? All right, let's bring up the machine status.
Computer on and off.
Well, the problem with virtual machines is it's sometimes really hard to tell if you have the disk in.
Yes.
Okay. So cancel there. All right. So there is a status screen that tells you if you've got the virtual. Okay, so I didn't put the disk in. That was the problem. It happens.
You did a grandpa. You did a grandpa.
Okay, so let's put install 1 in. It might need. Sometimes they don't. Some computers don't like to boot from the B drive.
My friend's not gonna come back on the live stream. Damn it.
Okay, let's see here.
This sucks, but.
I do have it in. I can see that it's on a window that you can't see. It's just not trying to boot from it. Let's see here. Boot system startup sequence. Looks like it just wants to start from A and only A. So let's just switch the drive letters around because I've seen some really stupid BIOS and it only wanting to boot from that. Yeah, I can completely see that. So
I just got a follow by Better Breadboarding.
what?
It's a company that makes breadboard stuff and accessories.
Okay. Do they make propane and propane accessories?
Propane and protein accessories. I've been to that club in Chelsea before.
Before the COVID era.
Yes.
All right. So
Before
install
it was
1.
Electric Boogaloo.
Hey! Vine's networking solution. Loading.
Yay! And Commander got something to work on this show.
No fucking kidding.
It only took 10 episodes.
No, we've gotten other things. Okay, I'm so stoked at this. I have to take a screenshot of it.
So proud. We're gonna print it, put it on his refrigerator.
Okay.
You're gonna share it on Twitter and send it to Neo, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
That's like his thing. When he
Well,
gets something to work or doesn't work, he tags Neo in it because we always like making Neo cry more than he already cries at his job.
see here.
Yeah.
So what's the tweet for this? Look at what corpse I successfully archived and dug up.
You should write something like that, and you did this with Sidepocket sitting next to you, bothering you, so you should get
Neo NYC, just remember, while you work at Fail Factory, you didn't have a Sidepocket driving behind. So, yes. So I would probably note that this is the first time that this has ever been recorded in any sort of fashion. So let's try disc 2 and see if it gets going. And it's going. It's going. So to catch up with the chat, I did emulate a NE2K card, or I thought I did. It's actually not very useful because PCM doesn't. So here's what I mean. Well, I don't know if you saw it. It said AT&T and Microsoft there. But holy crap, my train of thought just derailed. The Vine's network protocol is not TCP/IP based. It's actually a layer 3 protocol. So it's you can't use Slurp, which is how this normally works. So I'm actually going to live screenshot this, live tweet this as we go, because this is really quite cool for me and magical, because I've wanted to see Vines fracking work on something for years. So this is just testing that we have the freaking media working. It is going to be days or weeks before I track down all the hardware. So, but we're going to try and do an actual install here. We probably won't come back to Vines for a while afterward until I track down everything. So we need to do fixed disk utilities. We need to change examine. That is correct. That's interesting. It actually read the BIOS. Vines 386 fixed disk. Okay, all right. Let's see here. Display partition information. So it's, I need to make an active partition. Uh-oh. So here, I need to, how do I, no, I don't want to install those changes. I need to, do they not have a way to, let's see here, format fixed disk. Drive number 1, erase. That is correct. Performance tuning for fixed disk. Holy crap. It wants to know my interleave factor.
What?
Something for hard drives that are older than you are.
I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, it wants to know what my interleave factor is. This is going well.
Next
All
time I
right.
ask you about your bacon level.
I'm just going to use 3. Yeah, it's doing a low-level format, or it's trying to do a low-level format. So Eldorado, I believe that Vines has code in common with Xenix. There are Microsoft copyrights. And this is actually fairly similar to some of the Xenix 386 stuff I've seen. So, yeah, I'm going to let it do this little format. Actually, interesting, it's doing it backwards. Why are the heads going down? And seemingly doing the same ones over and over. Is it actually formatting? Okay, I guess it formatted. Okay. Examine partition table.
Ridiculous.
Yes, that's correct. Show partition information. Okay, that worked. I don't know why it put it in 4. God, these tools are interesting. And when I say interesting, I mean horrifying. Okay, let's go back to 4. I guess I need to install new boot programs. Okay. I guess that's everything I need to do for a fixed disk. Let's do a full install. Yeah, it's looking for the dongle. I didn't get that far, boys. I did not get that far.
Girls and boys.
Let's see here.
Ones and
The
zeros.
thing is, I'm not sure if it's looking at the serial or parallel port. But we managed to boot, and then it went wrong. Yeah, because it should have because I have the server key, but I have no way of emulating the server key. And then it went wrong. Let's see here. So apparently, I guess these were reflashable, the hardware dongles. Let's see here. Did it? I guess it just errored out. Frig. So let me see here. So if I hit full installation again, see now I'm not sure if these are RS-232 or if they're parallel. See, I would think they're they're parallel, but I could be wrong. And see, now I'm hesitant to use it if this is more intelligent than I think. So full installation. I just want to let it go through this again. I have that distinct feeling this is as far as we're going to get. But if this is a shell script, maybe we can get just a little further. So let's see here. Because I am not quite ready to give up that quickly. I am a strong believer. Let's see here. Let me get install one in. Let's see here. Here's the hex adder. Let me go back to full screen. So we're looking for in text. I'm just curious if this is a shell script or something else. Let's see here. So checking for. That is, let's see. Nope, that's a different script. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so we can actually proceed with the installation. This error key does not have a Vines revision 5 option bit. If you proceed with the installation, you'll have to load a option key on the server before services can be started. That's exactly what I expected. So, okay.
Oh, that's mean. So have you seen online the whole like how it started, how it ended things, where they show like a picture is how it started and how it ended?
Yep.
So there's one that says how it started, and it's the logo for Google Reader, and how it ended. It's a graveyard with a tombstone.
Yep. All right. I am going to be live tweeting as we go along, just because this is amazing, and this will probably be my happy Euphoria moment. So it's installable without its dongles. Well, this is interesting.
That sounds like a cake. Installable without its dongles.
Well, we are going to do a full setup of this, but this is mostly smoke testing the media. Oh, do you want to load the OS2 Vines files during this installation?
Yeah, we're gonna pick.
Let's see here. If you do not load the OS2 version, then OS2 clients will not be able to access the server's Vine files. Okay, you know what? We're going for broke here. This procedure will install OS2. Yes, that's fine. Okay, that is correct. No, don't do a bad block scan. Oh, that's going to take forever.
So apparently a hacker group has access to 5,000 home security cameras, and some of the footage is starting to pop up on adult streaming sites.
It's making me... Neozed, I don't know if you're still on stream. It's making me do a comprehensive surface test.
The other terrible Surface, besides Microsoft Surface.
It's like... So, for those who are not familiar with old NetWare, yeah, there's no way to skip it. I'm familiar with running into this with NetWare. We're going to have to deal with emulated bad blocks. It says 14 minutes. I'm guessing that's pretty accurate. So, you know what? We're going to wait it out. I just also realized that we're emulating a 4616 megahertz. We could have gone with a little bit of a faster system. But this is fine. Okay. So, folks, we are going to be waiting while this runs. I don't remember how many cylinders my hard drive has. Let me see here. I can. So I have 1,000 cylinders. So okay, yeah, that's not going to be too bad. That is not going to be too bad. So okay. Holy shit, folks! I do think we did successfully preserve something for history. Guys, this is a contribution. I just wish there was more stuff for me to be able to archive and see.
Welcome to Commander loses his sanity for science and history.
For science?
For glory.
Yep. So I am remarkably happy and satisfied about this. Sort of. I don't know.
Things you can say about computer systems, but not your.
Well, yeah, I've got to figure out what to do with the dongle situation. I think right now what I want to know is the whole thing installable? From what we saw, the disks are compressed.
Predict what N Commander's going to do with his dongle. dongle in the next 45 minutes. But it's true.
Yeah. So right now, the test right now is, can we read through and do an install process from start to finish? From what we've seen, the disks, they're stored in the compressed format. The odds are that Vines probably uses a version of the Unix file system or a Xenix file system. So the odds are is after installation, I will probably be able to mount and dump, which means I'd be able to reverse engineer at least parts of this. So there is still value in doing this. And what I can do is on real hardware, I can rewrite the disks in 3 1/4 format and install on my ThinkPad. But I still, the fact that I have the actual dongles is the amazing part.
Mm-hmm. It'd be kind of insane to take like all the different friends that I know that have all retro stuff and we just bring them all over to your place at the same time, and how freaking creepy that would look.
It'd be awesome though. I wish I had some Commodore stuff.
It'd be basically Village Computer Festival.
I would love to have some 8-bit stuff and similar. So given, yeah, I definitely think parallel pass-through would be doable. I'd have to think about how you would do it more in depth. How is the parallel port? From what? All right, we're going to do. Well, while we wait, we've got nothing to do with the wait until this finishes. So while that goes, I do want to look at. So let's rip a tab off. So parallel port addressing. My understanding is that the parallel port. Let's see here. Here's how it works. So lack of literature. It's a female DB. Yeah, see, now I'm not completely sure if this is RS-232 or not. So here's how the port works. And it has 3 IO. So you have data, status, control. So it's address 0x378, 9, and 380. Yeah, so that's actually pretty trivial to do, just looking at it. Because all I'd have to do is boot up something. How do you think about this? So I would need a TCP IP stack under DOS that could send and receive traffic. Now, that's not that hard to come by. I have, for my real hardware, I have a PCM ICA card with Ethernet. So I could definitely take remote control of the parallel port. I don't know when I'll do that. I got a few things I really want to do first. I have a YouTube video I really want to finish. So, holy crap! I'm sorry. I'm having a brain. Work with me.
Basically, your brain shut off because everything mostly worked for once.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's that thing that you don't know how to handle when it happens.
It's like a dog catching its own tail.
Or when they actually catch the car.
Yeah. Well, depends on which end and what direction.
Oh look, we are getting spam in chat. Can you get the band hammer?
Oh.
Let's see here.
That
Alright.
work?
I don't know. I can't see if you banned someone. They still show up in Restream.
Okay.
Oh, I've got a block user button.
Yes, it might be that.
Okay. All right. So we are about halfway done with the surface scan. The wheels on the hard drive go round and round, round and round, round and round.
The hamster in the wheel of the Commander's brain goes on strike, goes on strike, goes on strike.
See, so I have to wonder what's on these these server keys, because it almost suggests to me that there is something a little bit more in depth.
Jesus God, now I know why this whole censorship thing is blowing up and what they're trying to cover up.
More, okay. It's like, I feel like I'm going to have to crack one of these open. I really don't want to, but I might have to. And that... See, my biggest concern is I don't know if these have ever been used. They may have been. My guess is they probably have been, just because you don't normally have something like this sitting around unused. But it probably has some bits or something. So, we'll see. We'll see. I'm still amazed that... Yeah, see, the part that I take a lot of value in is I've managed to preserve this for you know, the world, but I'm the guy that actually owns the original and has the license for it. So I guess that's my little petty prize. I still can't believe I actually met. I'm still a little bit stoked. Alright, I should stop patting myself on the back because I might cough up a landing gear. I mean, I would love to get my hands on more copies of NetWare. I would love to get some boxed copies of Windows. The only operating system that's currently on the wall of interesting shit is PC DAWs 3.3, which I actually just need to dump just to make sure the discs are actually good, because I bought it mostly because I wanted a box set, not because I actually had a need for it. Although I am trying to justify to myself, and the justification is not the easiest thing, is I really would like to get an official True Blue. I would really love a PC-AT, but I would settle, but an XT or even a 5150 would not be things I would object to. I'm not as interested in the PS2 line because PS2 stuff is remarkably non-standard. Because IBM tried to be IBM. So, yay? Maybe? I don't know. I know I'm rattling, which, strangely enough, I've been doing all night because we were trying to get the discs to dump.
Do you want me to do the spiel and then take a break with Kerbal Space Program? Or?
No. We're literally just waiting for the surface scan to finish.
Okay.
It's about 75% done.
Well, it's doing that. I might as well do the spiel again. So, hi everyone who's currently watching Jim Jump. If you haven't been seeing me, I'm Sidepocket. In addition to being the devil that sits on Commander's shoulder and says terrible stuff to him all the time. I was gonna tell you about his reply. Red Hat 3. We'll get into that in a second. I'm one of the co-founders of DEFCON 201. We are a computer hacker group alliance workshop cult thing, whatever. That harem that usually meets third Friday every month in person, but because of COVID and crazy people with guns, we've been problems not the guns, crazy people with guns, and the police that back them up. We are going to be having a live stream meeting this Friday on October 16th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch, DLive, and YouTube. We're also working on trying to stream on default Facebook. And so if you want to get alerted to that, if you want to wait until the next Hackle and Commander, which will probably be on October 28th, or any of the other shows that we do, you can, go to our website at defcon201.org. or even better, you can hit that bell, like, share, subscribe, or follow us on Twitch, DLive, or YouTube. We don't have the notifications on this episode because of the way, on this show because of the way the setup is, but when we do get them, I poke N Commander to shout them out because we like it when you guys follow us on any of those platforms. So
It does make a huge difference, especially like for example for YouTube.
the more you follow, the faster the installs go.
Yeah. Well, for something like YouTube, because I am a aspiring YouTuber, although like I said, the health sucks.
If you're on Twitch, if you scroll at the bottom of the stream, there's a GitHub extension that has N Commander's GitHub in there.
Yeah. Well, but let me explain for YouTube why, especially with YouTube, we beg for subscribers, is because we need to have over 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watched hours to be monetized. And until you're monetized, Google kind of shits on you.
Yeah, it's the same problem we're kind of, to some degree, having with Twitch right now. It's stupid contract.
Yep. Well, I mean, that's the problem, is doing things for the greater good. We just need to build things out more. So the hard drive in this system, I believe, was 1,200 cylinders. So this should be almost done with the bad block scan. It's annoying you can't skip it, but considering it asked me for the bloody interleave factor, the copyright on these discs are 1992. So what the hell is it want? Most server stuff would be SCSI. The ask the interleave would be MFM. So what the F, Banyan? Like, what was this meant to run on? A PC-80? Except we saw that this says Vines 386. So, I don't know. This was made on... Oh, here we go. Here we go. You now have opportunity to enter known bad areas of your hard disk. Well, this feels familiar. Okay, I don't want to enter any offset information.
Oh, this is the best thing.
Let's see here. Okay, I have entered all defects. I control your reality. Surface scan. It is now constructing a root file system.
Thank you, Vader. I cannot wait to get on Twitter and look at one of the posts that Neo tagged Night Owl in.
Click.
Show it on the screen. It's amazing. I can read it fairly.
I'm trying to find it.
The images are amazing.
Which one is it?
It's the one it's tagged Night Owl from G.I. Jack. Happened 9 minutes ago.
I'm looking at it. Okay. Oh, hold on. It wants me to put release diskette 1. I'm sorry. I'm being distracted. Let's see here. 7 minutes. T2 distract. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, I see it. Shocking news. This owl landed inside a helicopter while it was doing water drops onto Fire Lake.
That owl picture. That's what happens when Night Owl invades your systems.
You know. Okay, so now we've been distracted by owls. Let's start feeding disks and see if we can actually install. So let's put disk 1 in, and hopefully the installation is slightly more interesting than just that. I am annoyed that. Okay, do I have to hit that enter key? I put release diskette 1 in. Okay. Vines. No, but I can't even see if... Hold on, let me go full screen so you can see what I'm doing. I'm not even seeing it try to read the disk. It's like it's not recognizing the key press. Yeah, it's like... Normally, like, you can see here I've got disk A in, and I've got the drive here. Return, enter...
Someone replied, where does the pilot leave for Hogwarts?
Let's see, disk 1. Did I... Maybe I've got some of the disks mixed up in the labeling. It could be a freeze, you know, that's not impossible. Which would be really, really irritating. But it is possible. Let's see here. Shaw. 256. Let's see here. Okay, so these all have different checksums, which is good. Cancel. I really don't want to give it a free finger salute if I don't have to. Yeah, it may have decided to check out. That would be really, really irritating. Let me eject the disk and see if that does anything. So disk eject, disk A. Yeah, nothing. All right, let's do a reboot. Or you know, before we do a reboot, stop emulation. I don't know why it would have died there, but Vines is supposedly picky about its hardware, and I think we just saw that happening. So dynamic recompiler. So let's go with a 386 AMI clone. We'll give it a floating point. No, a 486 should be fine for that time period. So let's go back. Alright. I'm not quitting that easily. And neither should you. So let's give it a relatively speedy thing. I'm just curious, what happens when it tries to boot from the hard drive? There shouldn't be enough files on it to successfully boot, but maybe there are. Let me see here. Hold on. Yeah, okay, that's what I expected. File not found. So what we want to do is we're going to put retro in disk, not there, temp. I'm not going to make you guys sit through the entire install format process. But I'm also not giving up that easily. Definitely not. So we've done the reboot. It's loading. It's now booting from the disk. Do you definitely want to go back to the hex? Because what I want to see... Actually, this might be on install too. And the reason what I'm looking for is... holy crap, that is an empty thing. We put install disk 2 in. I'm just going to keep you on top. I want to kind of see is where it's checking the dongle. Although this looks like this may be compressed. You see some of this, so that you can see it. We saw it briefly. System thing. I say do full install. This will fail, but we're gonna let it. Let's see here. Checking server. Then backwards. Ah, here it is. So this actually is a shell script, which is interesting to me. Yeah, this is all shell script. You could probably extract this thing. Where's the shell script start? I am guessing this is where it starts. This is not the first time I've had to pull an install script out of something. Let's go down.
First time you're doing it without
Yeah, we're just going to copy this to a new file, and then we'll load it in a text editor. So, let's see here. Copy. Yes, proceed with the installation. Load files. Okay. Now, hopefully it's not going to make me reformat and do that all over again. I mean, it might. Actually, it probably will, but you never know. So I want to see... So this should be the install script. Install that sh. And I just want to get a closer look at this. Temp install sh. Yeah, okay, that's definitely an install script. So it means we can also hex edit this to get around it, which is actually not a bad place to be. Yes, I wish to continue. Correct. No, don't do a full block. Bad block scale. Alright, I'm going to let it run one more time. But, okay, so here we go. Swap. So interestingly, yeah, so you can see this is where it talks about doing a tape install. And if you want to install from tape, it also shows some of the different versions. Like there's the Vines 386, the PS2, and systematic multiprocessing, which at that point would have been the 486 kind of nightmare ugly thing. So let's see here. We keep going down. A lot of interesting bits. Let's see here. Okay, keep going down. I want to see where it goes with loading disks, which is probably somewhere around here. So how does this handle gaps? So this is basically doing all the formatting. Interestingly, how it makes multiple file systems. I get the impression that this is supposed to be more or less a sealed system. But given that this is a S5 thing, System Release 5, it might be a standard System Release 5 file system. What's called SVS4. So let me see here. So this is then runs fdisk. Let's make boot. So this begins the upgrade section. Probably what I wanted to hit was shush. All right, so I'm guessing what the way Vines did this is with BSD and some Unix, they had what were known as disk labels, which were basically little slices of hard drives. Kind of think of a very primitive version of the Linux logical device manager. And it looks like there was, I'm guessing S5 is System Release 5. Let's see here. Does Linux have support for the S5 file system? Maybe. Support for System 5 386 FS, which hold on, let me yoink. All right. Oh, that. Ow, 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 ow. I'm okay.
Welcome to the End Commander Injury Stuff.
You know, I always injure myself. It's all the injuring all the time. So what I'm looking for here is like, let's see here. Is compression, is torture what you're doing to yourself or to your chair? The answer is yes.
The answer is true.
Hey, wait a minute. Why is there an option here to skip scan? That's not fair. Apparently, if you're installing from tape, you can skip this. I want to be able to skip the scan. I wonder what CNS is. I mean, there is a lot of things here. Moosh. Okay. So, disk upgrade, disk full. I'm guessing this disk full is what handles certain... There's gotta be a way to decompress this. But this really reminds me... You know what this reminds me of all things? It reminds me of AUX, which was Apple's version of Unix. I'm guessing it Solaris was BSD based with some System 5 improvements. AIX was IBM's version of System 5. But it's not very System 5-y. But the Santa Cruz operation is what defined the System 5 standard, especially on x86. So that is basically thy Xenix legacy. So here's where it continues. So it does all this. This is interesting. So how does this work? So it's this. Wait a minute. Is this all CPIO archives? So find, mount, dep, print. No, okay. So that's how it ends it, because then it writes that. There's some really interesting stuff here. And by interesting, I mean may have been made on drugs. Let's keep looking through here and see if I can find more shell scripts. So let me find release disk. Release. So this is for release tape. So this looks like this is another shell script. I'm sorry if my mouse is really scratchy. I keep meaning to replace it. Yeah. It's bugging you? Here. So reload files from release media. Is there anything here? You know, because I did see like a full set of manuals for Vines, but they wanted something like $500 plus $100 shipping on top of that. I don't even think it had the media cassettes. Like if it was a complete set with the media case, which is what I have. Yeah, I'm curious. Is that still on eBay? It might actually still be. Let's pull the eBay tab up while we still wait for this to run. Yeah, here it is. Version 5. Okay, so it is a little bit more complete. It has the media cassette. So you got the Vines things. You have the revision. You know, because that looks very similar to the discs I have, although there is no serial number. It is a different version. This is 5.5. Although, amazingly, that is a complete box. But you can see how much manuals came with the damn thing. Let's see here. And if you look at the main picture of it... yeah, see... That's a lot of manuals.
That's a lot of manuals.
Like, and like I said, I contacted the seller. Ooh. And that's the only listing. How long has that been there? I just have curiosity. When did this go up? Yeah, I mean, this looks like this has been on eBay since 2016. Well, I wanted to show how rare this thing was. Ooh, I just realized. Hold on. CPM. There's a CPM thing. And there's an open VMS thing. The archive would stump up for that. The problem is I can't. I would love to see this saved, preserved, and scanned. But yeah. I mean, the worst part about this is even if you get this, you still can't actually use the software because you don't have the hardware dongles. At least the dongles I have, in theory, match the version of Vines. I would love, like I said, I would love to have it, but at that price, I can't justify it. I also, if you look at the media case, you can't tell what it is, and because it looks very similar to the media case I have, but there's no other picture of it. So I already put the case away, but on mine there is a label that says that it's 5 1/4 floppy drives discs. But if someone wants to give me $410, I would dump it, make it available, and get it all scanned. Now that being said, this is a new listing. The professional reference. When did this go up? Because this I actually. How much do they want? This I'll buy. I'm going to wait. I'll wait until I'm off stream, but I'm actually going to buy this reference book. Because at least then I have a manual for it. I'm sorry if I'm kind of drifting and ranting a little bit. I'm just looking at this file format. We're going to pull the plug at midnight. Yeah, I was waiting for something. Okay. If this fails a second time, then we're done for the night. But I wanted to give this one more try before I gave up. I don't want to enter any defect information. I've entered all defects. Surface analysis complete. Okay, so now it's making a new file system. Fingers crossed. Okay. Little Sidepocket fell down a hole? Fell down a well? Okay. Load installation disk. So I am curious what happens if you try this with no disk in the drive. Does it just hang? Nope, it doesn't seem to do anything. So let me put load reference. See, I'm guessing that it's having a problem. I just had a thought. It might not like the floppy disk controller. If the emulated floppy disk. Yeah, well that too. Load released. Well, so the first stage bootloader is basically loading a RAM disk. I can see that from the boot messages, but it's not actually trying to read from the floppy disk. Then it tries to read from the floppy disk and blows its brains out.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen this behavior before. I've seen it with Xenix. It tries to read and then goes. All right, folks. I think this is a good wrapping up point for the night. Yeah. So, Sidepocket is going to find us a stream to raid. I am going to think real loudly.
And to note, follow all the Commander stuff. If you like our stuff, follow, like, and subscribe on Twitch Live and YouTube. We're gonna have our main meeting, big show on the 16th. You can find out more information at DEFCON21.org.
Yeah. See, I mean, I'm looking at this. There is something I could do. Just as a kind of shits and giggles thing, I could try this. Do we want to try a shits and giggles thing? Yeah, let's do a shit and... I'm just going to try something for shits and giggles. Let me get the hex editor out. This is how I did early debugging with oh fuck, what's it called? How I did early debugging with oh, come on, brain. You are okay, you can think. With Xenix is I was able to force it to spawn a shell. So let me switch modes to override mode. Bin sh. And then I need to change. I need to make you a carriage return. So that would be 0A. And then you need to become, let's see here, 23. And then I want to save you as install one modified. So if that works the way it's supposed to, the way I think it will, that will forcibly drop me into a shell, and I can then poke at it slightly more. It won't be super useful, but it would at least get us somewhere. So I just want to see, let's see here. Let's see if with a little hex adding, if we can at least get somewhere. So change. I'm sorry. I feel bad. I'm keeping you up. Go for someone new. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about this. I might have to use 86 box. It might need what's called an MFM image dump, which would be annoying, but it's not the end of the world. Why did that not boot from where thou shalt boot? I might have a boot order problem. Let's see here. PC machine, boot, 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 boot. I command I to boot. A1 modified. And it's trying to... What?
Let's see what the bit of the stream to make sure my eyeballs have seen this correctly.
Okay, I just gotta check the boot order. I'm guessing. I just want to see if I can make this work. This should not be hard. AC.
There is a giant
That's correct.
man who has a stream that is labeled FreeBSD as a desktop is the new objects.
What?
FreeBSD as a desktop.
No, I heard you. But I...
Should be Raven, he has a GNU beard.
I don't know what to think about this.
Copied his
Yeah. Let's see here. Hold on. Why is it not booting?
because that, we have Python programming, which also automates boring stuff with Python.
Did I screw up? I might have screwed up.
Exploring the EF provider for Cosmos. Use their C# for quick integration.
Interesting.
A tutorial on how to build a PC and
All right. I'm gonna try one more thing, and then I.
the only thing is chemistry in a lab, which is actually called differential chemistry. So do not talk to me.
That's like the worst possible thing to put in a label.
There's also like gelatin fire or bug fixing.
No. We want to keep this safe for war.
Guy named Stranger as one says, oh god. Code help and advice. JavaScript linter C++. I need to get these collabs with some of these people. Because I think they need help.
I think I need
Both
help.
psychologically and coding.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to think about this. My guess is it's trying to access the floppy controller, and it's going, ha ha ha, screw you.
Catching Memedo's SLE.
Memedo's what?
Memedo's SLE.
That sounds terrifying. Alright, let me see here. So let me remove hard drive C.
Trying to debug Java in Spanish.
Okay, well that's fine.
Making fiery demon attacks.
Fiery demon attacks. Interesting.
Okay, there's a thing called devops.org, and I don't know what they're streaming, but the slide says
Autonomy of...
anatomy of the...
Oh, hold on. I just realized what I may have done.
Okay.
Okay.
Take your time, we're gonna invade a new stream. I'll pick one of these.
Yeah, okay. So somehow I goofed. I goofed. The reason I know I see I goofed is redo insert. Okay. So I need trap 01. Case sensitive. I somehow managed at some point in this process to insert more characters than I had intended, and that's why shit broke. That's why shit broke. Okay. Basically. So bin sh and then this needs to be 0A and then 2-3 like that. Okay, and now you should have the correct length. Save you. Alright, save. Eject so this can get the new reference. The claw. Well, yeah, it's interesting how Twitch has really become, because, you know, there was, none of this was on Twitch before COVID.
Making an MMO from scratch.
Oh, that, ow.
The only way they can make that work is if they
Yes,
making
yes,
an
yes,
MMO
yes,
from
yes.
scratch.
Yes, okay, there we go. My hex-edited boot script is in place. Let's see if we get to a shell. So I'm just trying to figure out what could be wrong.
Oh my god, I can make that. Oh my god. We're gonna make a shirt and I can't believe it's not Flutter logo, and I'll read, I can't believe Jack's not dead yet.
Oh, you cruel, you horrible, horrible person. Alright, let's see if we end up at a shell prompt. Well, yes and no. Enter system maintenance password. Incorrect response. Wait, if I hit maximum login tries. Well, okay, so we did actually get somewhere, but it didn't actually succeed. Because so here's what happened. It tried to enter single user mode and failed because apparently there's a password on the boot floppy.
Oh joy.
And I don't know enough of the file system to fracking remove it. Let me see here. Is there a... If I search for root, do I find an Etsy password? Might be on disk 2. Let's see here. So that's root. It might be on Etsy. It might be here. Root. Yeah. It is definitely progress. I will say that. It's in Cracker. Oh, I was going to Cracker Jack. This predates Shadow by a lot. Yeah, this would be well before Shadow. Oh, there we go. That looks like that's either a group or something similar. Let's keep looking. Yeah, I'm guessing that. Let's see here. I'm trying to remember what the format of the old school password file was. 0.local. The thing is, I know this is similar to System 5 Unix, but it's just different enough to say, ha ha ha, screw you.
I got the one who's doing compiler bug fixing. The first lines of his profile is, I work on the Go programming language.
I might have to write this to real floppy disks and try and run it on real hardware. Just to see what happens. I don't know. I could do it now, but I'd have to get a 3 1/4 floppy drive out. I have to get the ThinkPad out. So I think this is where I think we're going to pull the plug here, folks. Okay, you get the raid, and then you tell me when to shut it. You should post the raid link in chat.
I will. I do think about that actually.
Okay, we're just. I'm sorry. Sidepocket is
slow to load, so it's gonna give me like a couple of minutes. But you should probably like plug in like your people can contact you.
Yes. Oh, if you want to reach me, please follow me on the Twitters. I will drop it, and I really appreciate if you gave me a follow on the YouTubes, which I'll drop here in a moment. Alright, I'd hugely appreciate that, and I hope you all... Well, I'm still waiting for Sidepocket to post it. So, I'm going away. I'm going to a better place, folks. I'm going over the Rainbow Bridge. Okay.
You will probably see him on Friday.
Probably.
October 16th meeting. DEFCON21.org starts at 6 p.m. on the live stream. Hope to see you there.
Okay. Should I pull it?
Yep.